This broadcast is presented by Currency. Does your business need financing for equipment, trucks, or trailers? Visit gocurrency.com. And by Liberty First Credit Union, banking with purpose. Find out more at libertyfirstcu.com.
Welcome to Seacrest Field in Lincoln, Nebraska. We have a top 10 matchup as the capital city takes on the Metro. Number 2 Millard South comes to town to take on number 8 Lincoln East. Glad you're with us for this matchup, brought to you by NPPD. Always there when you need them. Brandon Axemit, Jack Mitchell, and Kyle Mathis with you tonight. Jack, what more could you want on a Thursday? A top 10 matchup. Lincoln East is rolling, currently sitting at 4-1, and we saw them last week take on Columbus. Pretty impressive victory. The Spartans, though, tougher test tonight.
Yeah, absolutely tougher test tonight. Like you said, ranked on ranked, Lincoln versus Omaha. But you're right, they took care of business against Columbus in a game they probably should have. But we saw them really dominate offense, defense, special teams, all three phases. The test is a lot bigger tonight. They passed a test like this against Southeast. This is going to be a little tougher test than that, but we've seen them do it before, but it's going to be an exciting game tonight.
Spartans' lone loss of the season, week 1 against Kearney. As mentioned, 4 straight since. You look at Millard South. On the flip side, they are undefeated. Number 2, they had one game week 1 against Millard West. They won by 1. Jack, since that game, they've pretty much rolled through everybody, and not just everybody, but quality competition as well.
I know West Side is everybody thinks is the clear number 1 team in the state right now, and I get why. This team's resume, though, is really impressive as well. They've blown out Gretna. They've blown out Elkhorn South. They had the closer win against Millard West, blew out Lincoln North Star. They've beaten everybody in the last almost month that they played by 30 points or more. And so they've been dominant so far, and that's why East has got a big test ahead of them. They're still young, Millard South is, but they've been really good so far this year.
3 of Millard South wins, to Jack's point, against top 10 opponents. Stay with us. We are about 8 minutes away from kickoff here in Lincoln. The Spartans of Lincoln East hosting Millard South on News Channel Nebraska.
What does farming mean to you? For most, it's hard work, dedication, and livelihood. Unfortunately, that also comes with risk. At Nebraska Crop Insurance in Beatrice, they know the non-stop dedication involved to keep your family protected from that risk and ensure their livelihood. Not only do they know everything about the coverage you need, they're also farmers themselves. So protect what means the most to you with the agent who knows what it means to be a farmer. Nebraska Crop Insurance, 615 Dorsey Street in Beatrice.
And welcome back here in Lincoln. It's that time of the pregame show to talk about key players. And first off, Jack, starting with the Spartans, Dash Bauman, Wyoming commit. We saw what he did last week against Columbus, nearly 150 yards and 10 yards per carry. He's going to need to have a big game tonight.
Yeah, he will, and he's one of these players that they're going to play on both sides of the ball. Sometimes in Class A, they'll specialize a little more, but you'll see him on both sides of the ball. He's kind of a combo power and athletic runner, if that even makes sense. He's a hurdler, but he's a big guy, fun to watch on the field.
You mentioned defense. Dash, the leading tackler on this defensive unit for the Spartans. On the flip side for Millard South, Jet Tomala going with the sophomore quarterback who is playing like a seasoned veteran in his first year as a starter. He's passed for nearly 1,300 yards, 13 touchdowns, and the most impressive thing, just 1 interception.
Yeah, this is a sophomore, and he's got 2 wide receivers who are sophomores as well, but he's put up really gaudy numbers this year. He's leading the state in passing right now, and I can't wait to get a chance to see him. It's going to be a real big challenge for this East defense.
We are looking forward to a great one here at Seacrest Field in Lincoln. Thursday night football, Millard South versus Lincoln East here on News Channel Nebraska. We'll hear from both head coaches when we return.
A partner in your everyday since 1975. Woodhouse.
Welcome back on our pregame show. Joining us, Millard South head coach Ty Wisdom of the number 2 and 5-0 Millard South Patriots. Coach, you had a close game week 1, not so much the past 4 weeks. What have you seen from your team as you're entering now your 6th contest?
Yeah, these guys just keep getting better each week. And we have a young team, but like I said, some great senior leaders, and these guys just keep continuing to practice well. And we've stacked five games in a row, and we're hoping we can do it again tonight.
Said a young offense, a lot of sophomores playing. You said it would take a while to get them going. You hung 57 on North Star last week. Where is this offense in terms of its development?
I still think we're scratching the surface on a lot of things, but the guys are continuing to develop and practice well. They're got receivers running really good routes, catching the ball. Jet's throwing it well right now. Obviously, that you can't do anything with those guys up front, and those guys up front just continue to pave the way. And they're doing a great job in protection as well.
Lastly, what worries you, if anything, about Lincoln East?
Oh, a lot of things. They're 4-1 for a reason. They got beat by a 5-0 Kearney team that's really good. So they got a lot of really good football players. A couple DNs that are really good. Linebacker, running back, that's a stud. They got a good backfield. Obviously, their quarterback's a problem. So we'll have our hands full tonight, but we look forward to the challenge.
Coach, appreciate the time and good luck tonight.
Right, thanks.
Stay with us. More pregame here at Seacrest. Millard South and Lincoln East getting ready to go at it on News Channel Nebraska. At Nebraska Orthopedic Center, they provide comprehensive orthopedic health care. Their physicians are highly skilled in all areas of orthopedic and sports medicine, including spine surgery, foot and ankle, hand and upper extremities, fracture care, and total joint replacement. Their expertise includes the medical management of injuries through physical and rehabilitative methods or surgical intervention. To schedule an appointment or to learn more about Nebraska Orthopedic Center and their family of 25 physicians, go online to nebraskaortho.com. That's nebraskaortho.com. Nebraska Orthopedic Center is your healing destination. And welcome back to Seacrest. Joining us now, Lincoln East head coach John Gingery. Coach, second time in a row we've seen you on a Thursday night. Are you getting used to it, and do you enjoy the Thursday games?
You know what? I'm ready for Friday night games. I'm ready to be done with short weeks. But you know what? It is what it is, and we're ready to go.
Looking at your schedule, you played an undefeated team week 1. They got you. You've rattled off 4 since. What have you seen from your group during this 4-week stretch that prepares you for tonight?
Well, I think from the first week to the 5th week, we just measure the improvement we've made. So hopefully we're building. We've done some good things. We've made some great strides on both sides of the ball. So hopefully we're improving.
Talked to you earlier this week. You said Millard South may very well be the best team in Class A. What makes you say that, and what challenges do they present?
Well, I think on offense and defense, the way they move the ball and they score points, and defensively they've had a great effort all year. They've shut people down. They played some good teams. They played a tough schedule. And I think they've been one of the more consistent teams all the way through the season.
Lastly, you mentioned defense, allowing less than 20 yards for the Gators last week. What are you going to try to do to get more than 20 yards, obviously put the ball in the end zone a few times?
Well, I tell you what, we're going to try and put some pressure on them, try and make them do some things that they don't want to do. They love to throw the football. We want to take them out of their comfort zone, and on offense, we want to move the chains and have some first downs and run the clock a little bit.
Coach, appreciate it. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Stay with us. We're getting closer to kick here in Lincoln. Millard South taking on the Spartans of Lincoln East.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
The pregame show is brought to you by Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple always. And by Custom Sports. Check them out at CustomSportsCo.com.
At Zollner Ford, come and see our great selection of new Ford vehicles. Whether you're looking to buy new or you need a car serviced, it's our pleasure to assist you. Our online website makes shopping even easier. Browse our massive inventory of vehicles or schedule your next maintenance appointment. We even offer drop-off and pickup services. Stop by today or visit us online at zollnerofbeatrice.com.
Welcome back here to Seacrest Field. Brandon Axement, Jack Mitchell with you. We are 5 minutes away from getting kickoff going. Let's take a look at our starting lineups here on News Channel Nebraska as the Spartans are ready to come out onto the field. So first off, for the number 2 Millard South Patriots, we mentioned Jet Tomala leading the way. Perusha, a very good running back, over 300 yards, Jack. And you mentioned the wide receivers headlined by Amarian Jackson. The young man is catching the majority of Tomala's touchdown passes. He has 8 on the year and over 300 yards.
And he's a sophomore also. Jensen, a sophomore also. He doesn't have the touchdown numbers, but he's had a really productive year again so far. So a young but very accomplished offense in a short time right now. And these guys like to pass the ball. We've got 2 teams really here that like to pass the ball. They'll spread it out. As you can see, 4 wide receivers there for Millard South on their starting lineup.
On the defense, one of the best in the state. You mentioned the fact they gave up 18 yards to Lincoln at North Star last week. J.R. Laquana, you're going to keep an eye on him. He is going to go to SDSU. He has 36 total tackles, leading the team on that D-line, and 7 tackles for a loss.
Yeah, I've been talking to some of my friends in the industry that do recruiting, and they said this defensive line is legit as it gets in the state. So a big challenge for the Lincoln East offensive line tonight to try and get some pressure on that quarterback and slow things down.
Now taking a look at the Spartans. They have some athletes on their team as well, D1 caliber players. Jeter Worthley, he's going to Michigan to play baseball. He can sling it. Dash Bauman, who we highlighted. Caden Cheddock, a very physical tight end. And a couple of very talented wide receivers as well, led by Lasig and Burhoop.
Yeah, we saw Owen Lasig have a good game last week as well. They'll mix run and pass. They're a little more run heavy this year than they've been because they've got Dash Bauman back there in the backfield, and Jeter Worthley will run it from the quarterback position as well as sling it around also.
Defensively, look no further than Dash Bauman, one of the leading tacklers, 27 on the season. Troy Peltz, a future Husker baseball player, also a very dominant linebacker. And Noah Peterson on the line for the Spartans, leading the team with 10 tackles for a loss.
Yeah, you've got this is a very athletic defense. What's going to be get really pressured here is that defensive backfield. We saw Ford make a pick 6 last week. We saw Zimmerman in a lot of plays. But with the way that Millard South is going to spread them out, it's going to be man-on-man a lot of the time tonight, and they're going to have to win those individual battles.
2.5 minutes to kick here in Lincoln. Stay with us. We'll be back on News Channel Nebraska.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Currency. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. By Central Nebraska Orthopedics, dedicated to the motion of life. And by Region 4 Behavioral Health, quality mental health and substance abuse services.
And welcome back here on News Channel Nebraska. The Spartans are out on the field. Let's take a look at our community spotlight, brought to you by Currency. Exciting back-to-back weeks on Thursday nights for the Lincoln East Spartans, as they are leading the capital city in the record department, currently at 4-1, the lone Lincoln team in our NCN top 10. 1,631. And Jack, again, we mentioned the glory years for this Spartan program, 75 and 79, the 2 championships for Lincoln East.
Yeah, there was kind of a drought between then and now, and that drought was when I was there. So I'm glad that they've overcome my presence and all the reverberations of it. They've been solid the last few years, played in state, but haven't quite made it to the final stage here. Nobody in Lincoln's been able to. This will be a big step tonight if they could make some noise here tonight against an Omaha team.
Now Millard South. And so Millard South, not Millard West, they have 2 championships, 1995 and 2009. Also runners-up in 96, 2008, and 2010. And as we mentioned, Jack, they are rolling right now. one of the hottest and potentially best teams in Class A.
Yeah, it's interesting to see this program kind of wake up. You mentioned we were talking about the drought when I was in high school in the mid-'90s. Millard South was solid then. They were the team to beat. You talked about 95 and 96. That was the era that what it was, and they're kind of putting together a real program-building situation here with some young players that have been successful early. I think it's moving a little faster than maybe they even thought that it would.
And so the Patriots will be receiving. We're going to look at this sophomore-led offense first. Glad that you are with us here for Thursday Night Football on News Channel Nebraska. Number 8 Lincoln East hosting number 2 Millard South. A battle of top 10 teams here in Class A. Student section already jumping up and down, ready to get this thing started.
It's toga night again, Brandon. Just wanted to make sure you knew.
I feel like that's just the go-to for the student section.
Second year in a row we've been working together on toga night here, and neither of us participated. So it always seems to be a hot night, so that's always a good thing, I guess. Could be a lot worse in late September.
Official temperature at
Felt like
kickoff.
About 97 on the field, but that's just the Jacko-meter, so I'm not sure if that's accurate.
You know, the Jacko-meter, I think there's some merit to it. It's 85 officially, but you know about that 12-degree bump down on the AstroTurf. Millard South starting from the 20 after the touchback, and it's a handoff on first down, and Prussia picks up a couple.
There's Dash Bauman right away on that first play, as we had talked about. Athletic play, and Millard South going to the run right off the bat. See if they can loosen Lincoln East up. Number 9, by the way, is the receiver to keep an eye on in particular. They have several good receivers, but number 9 is the one that Brandon had talked about earlier, Amarian Jackson, the sophomore, 6'1", 175.
Jones motions, and there's a little swing pass out to Dylan Cool. And Cool is bottled up. He picks up maybe 3 or 4. Brings up 3rd and short.
Chedek getting over there. Cool, I think, threw a little bit of a stiff arm shiver there on the first one, which was a great play. Knocked off the original defender. We'll see if we can see it on the replay here. And he had to kind of regather himself there, and Chedek had time to get over and make the play here. They're going to test Lincoln East tacklings here so far with these short passes that they like to get their receivers in space. Lincoln East, if they want to stay in this game, they got to be solid on that first touch.
And there's a completion. Tamala hits his target, Jones, who gets all the way across midfield. A 24-yard pickup on 3rd down.
And there you go, an extra 15 yards there, maybe after first contact for Millard South. Exactly what I was talking about there. And so far, Millard South is comfortable just kind of getting their players out in space and letting them be the athletes that they are right now.
So Prussia nowhere to go, brings up 2nd down and 10. Trips to the near side. And there is a bubble screen and nowhere to go. Mikhail Ford absolutely sitting down Isaac Jensen for a loss on the play.
Exactly what East had to do, and that's another play here where you have that early block set up and you're hoping you can break some tackles there. Mikhail Ford basically saw what was happening. The blocker, I don't know if he ever touched him. Ford making a great play there. 3rd and long here for Millard South. Let's see if they actually go down the field with one of these passes.
Third down and long here for the Patriots. They picked up the 3rd down on their last series. Tamala hits Prussia, and Prussia's immediately hit. It's going to bring up 4th and 10.
Noah Berhoop with the tackle. And after I talked about it originally on this dive, Brandon, Lincoln East started really tightening up their tackling, getting that tackle on first contact. And that's what's allowing them to get Millard South to punt. Going to play a little bit of a field position game here. Let's see if they can pin Lincoln East deep with this punt.
Play clock winding down here for the Patriots. It's now at 7. And it's a fake. Fake punt.
He's got a long ways to go.
And
oh my
Ian
goodness.
Langer nowhere to go. Dash Bauman ran him down, and the Spartans have the momentum here.
Now that was an interesting call right there, Brandon, because that was 3rd and, what was it? 14,
10.
15, 10. No, okay, it was only 10. But with the punt, in the punt formation, he was way back. If he was going to throw a pass there, that was going to have to be a pretty significant completion. And no matter who he threw it to is going to be in traffic. Boy, they just had a lot to gain to run that kind of a punt. And obviously, you saw there, it didn't work. Jeter Worthley takes over.
And Worthley behind his target there, trying to hit Lasig.
Just about had Dylan Kuehl an easy pick 6 to start out on the first play of the game.
Well, it's funny you mention that, too, because Kuehl has 3 interceptions. 2 of them have been pick 6s, though. He has a nose for the ball and then finding the end zone after.
It looked like Worthley and the wide receiver weren't on the same page there, so.
Bunch formation for the Spartans. Pitch goes to Zimmerman, and he's hit behind the line, loss of 2.
There we saw that defensive line that we've heard a whole lot about, big up front, talented up front, and some experience up front as well. And saw a little bit of it there, just nowhere to run for Kelby Zimmerman.
It is not going to be easy moving it against this front. And the Spartans facing a 3rd and long. And Burhoop was motioning across. We have a pre-snap flag. Looks like it'll send the Spartans back. That's the last thing you want to do if you're Lincoln East, obviously. 3rd and long becomes 3rd and longer.
Yeah, and I think Lincoln East is going to try and maybe just get a few yards here and then be okay with trying to pin Millard South as far back as they can after they're getting that. You normally wouldn't say Lincoln East is the type of team that's going to play a field position game, but this is actually a matchup where they may try and do that more than usual.
Worthley steps up. He's going to try to do it with his legs. Credit, he picks up about 8 or 9, but not enough for the first down.
That was a pretty impressive run, though. Some real moves. He got out of several tackles. Worthley can be a real weapon running for this offense, and we've seen some of that, but you wonder if maybe they'll go to it a little bit more here today.
You have Jackson back to receive for the Patriots. No fake punt from the Spartans. High hanging kick. And Jackson, fair catch made at the 13.
Kind of did the old reverse basket catch on that one right on the front of his helmet. Maybe a little nervous there.
Well, one possession for each team, 0-0.
Yep. Millard South moved it a little bit. East adjusted. East kind of shut down the run game of Millard South to the extent they tried to use it, which wasn't much. But Millard South said they're going to test East tackling. I think against a lot of the teams that they played, well, maybe not a lot of the teams they played this year, but for last week, for instance, they were breaking those plays that were short gains against East for huge plays. And there's a big hole. Closed up pretty quickly, though, by Lincoln East.
Prussia picks up 4. Brings up 2nd down and 6. Now Tamala pressured, gets it out, and finds again Jones up the sideline. That's his favorite target thus far.
Boy, nice to have that outlet there for Tom. It looked like he was in some deep trouble there because he had nobody. I can't see. I don't know if that was Bauman blitzing or who it was, but Tamala looked like he was just going to have to throw that away. But instead, He had receiver, was it Jackson on that one? Just wide open there. East was giving him a bit of a cushion. And Millard South was going to try and go downfield there. We still really haven't seen them particularly go downfield. Here it is, though, for the first time.
Completion to Isaac Jensen, and that's an 8-yard pickup.
And there you go. There's another one of those young wide receivers there. Another sophomore for Millard South. This team's going to be here for a while. At the top of the rankings with this trio and more. Not just the trio. There's a lot of young players here, but especially this trio of offense, receivers, and quarterback.
Halfway through this first quarter, that's brought to you by John Henry's. Our family serving yours. John Henry's. First quarter sponsor here for high school sports on News Channel Nebraska. Tamala gets it out. Prussia unable to hold on. Brings up 3rd down and short.
East is just kind of dropping everybody. That's a 3-man rush for East up against those 5 offensive linemen for Millard South. And they're dropping back into coverage, and they're saying, hey, we're going to keep everything in front of us here at this point. We've got to be solid tackling here. East right away trying to take away the long ball and just trying to be completely fundamental when it comes to the tackling so far.
Three-man front for the Spartans here on 3rd and short. Play action.
Send a blitz.
And
oh
Jackson,
my goodness!
Tip drill, and he is still going. First down and then some. My, oh my, the circus catch from the talented sophomore.
Everything went exactly how Lincoln East wanted it to on that play. Forced a pass way sooner than Millard South wanted to do it, and therefore he wasn't expecting it, tipped it up in the air, and it just bounced the exact right way for Millard South. Wow. Frustrating for East there because you had that blitz, or you had exactly what you wanted on that play, and now a new set of downs for Millard South, and they're going kind of quick here.
That's one thing Coach Wisdom said he wanted to do, is keep this Spartan defense off balance, getting up quickly to the line and snapping that ball, and 4 yards there on first down. Here comes more pressure. Tamala gets away from the first, ends up picking up 2. He was brought down by Troy Peltz.
Interesting to see how Lincoln East is mixing up that defense. Sometimes they're really dropping back, as we saw with only 3 in pressure. That time you had 4 down linemen going in, plus you had the blitzer. And the blitzes so far have been there. East hasn't gotten the sack yet, though, and got positive yards there as well. Looks like they'll move. Offside on the East, it looks like they're signaling.
And that'll give the Patriots a fresh set of downs here as we near the 4-minute mark in the quarter number 1.
I didn't see what happened there, but a dead ball encroachment call on East. They were still a ways away from even snapping the ball there on that play. So I'm not sure exactly what happened with East, but they had a chance there to get Millard South off the field, or at least put them in a 4th down situation, and that penalty is going to be a costly one. 1st and 10 now for Millard South.
A nice pickup there by Prussia. Give him 7. His 5th carry of the night. You have 5 receivers for the Patriots already with a reception. 7 total completions by Tamala up to this point.
Yeah, this is it is a spread it around. It is get the ball in the hands of the athletes. It's efficiency, high percentage completion so far is what this Millard South offense has been. And again, credit to East. It's been a little bit bend but not break so far. We'll see if they can keep him out of the end zone here.
Tamala has Prussia coming out of the flat up the sideline and across the 15. A big-time pickup as the Patriots are threatening now in the red zone.
East brought pressure from the defensive backfield, it looked like, on the other side, on the backside of that play. Turned out to be schemed out pretty well there for Millard South. And they're, like you said before, Brandon, they're running fast here.
Prussia, who had the reception now with another carry. 3 more yards. Like to remind you that coverage tonight is brought to you in part thanks to United Healthcare, where small towns matter.
Be interesting to see how Millard South does this when they're tightened up a little bit. They aren't going to quite have the room to operate with the East defense dropping back so much on those short passes. And he'll pop it up this time. Nice throw.
Right on the money to Jackson. It just took him out of bounds, so no touchdown for the Patriots. But you can see that sophomore connection is deadly, and it's going to be here for years to come.
Boy, I think he put that right where it needed to be. I don't know. He might not have got that either way, but I was going to say credit the Lincoln East defensive back there for making the play and getting him pushed out of bounds there. I'm not sure if he would have been able to get that foot in that he would have needed.
3rd down and 7.
Big play.
There's
good play design.
Fake swing pass. Cool is untouched into the end zone, and the Patriots strike first.
He got everyone on the entire defense to go left on that play, to the defense's left, and just cleared it out with that fake. You'll see it here. Everybody is over there. And then they set up the linemen on a screen. I could have run that one in. Nice play calling by Millard South for that first touchdown.
Nathan Thompson will attempt the PAT. It's through 7-0. Millard South striking first here in Lincoln. The Spartans will look to answer when we return. You're watching high school football on News Channel Nebraska. So this yellow jacket, it basically symbolizes that it's showtime.
The yellow jackets are a throwback to Monday Night Football.
The 1970s, Keith Jackson, Howard Cosell.
That was the big broadcast in the country. Now we're the big broadcast in Nebraska.
When News Channel Nebraska is covering a game, we want you to know that we take it seriously. We want to dress sharp. We have pride in what we do.
And we're going to wear those yellow jackets to show people, you know, we're a little old school, but we're also the important broadcast of the night.
Welcome back. Brandon Axmit, Jack Mitchell, Kyle Mathis with you patrolling the sidelines. Impressive second drive for the Patriots, Jack. East, we'll see what they can do with the ball for the second time.
Whew. Got close there. If he could have kept a foot in, he might have been able to turn that upfield and go a ways there. Yeah, East had chances on that drive, Brandon. They had a couple of third down plays there. They had one where they had the pre-snap encroachment. They had chances to get off the field, so it's not just been kind of a dominating big play situation here from Millard South, where they're just overwhelming East at this point. It's kind of nickel and diming them just a little bit early. They're kind of feeling this out. I'm sure Millard South is going to have some deep plays coming up here for these wide receivers, but so far I feel like they're kind of trying to feel this defense out a bit, but got some points on the board while doing it last time.
And Wordley gets out of trouble initially before being taken down for a sack.
That play was absolutely mutilated by that Millard South defensive line. I mean, absolutely. I mean, luckily for Worthley, he pulled that thing out and he actually had a chance to make something out of it. But there were two white jerseys in his backfield seconds after he got 1 second after he got the snap. That was some impressive stuff. This East offensive line is going to have a real test tonight. Worthley's going to run a lot tonight, I have a feeling.
That was J.R. Laquana with the sack, his 8th tackle for a loss as Wordley gets those yards back. It'll bring up 3rd and long.
So far, it's almost there's so much pressure immediately from that Millard South defensive line. That's about all Worthley can really do. He doesn't have time to drop back and pass. He didn't even have time to hand it off on the last play. I think we are going to see a lot tonight of number 13 running the ball from East. And I don't think that's what the East offense is obviously going to want to do. Probably going to need to work in some quick passes here, do kind of maybe some of the stuff that Millard South has been doing on their offense if they're getting that kind of pressure that quickly.
Worthley rolling out, has his receiver. Ooh. It's off the hands of Burhoop, and it'll be a 3-and-out for the Spartans.
And that's the other thing that you try and do if pressure is coming in pretty quickly. Get your mobile quarterback, right, rolling out as quickly as he can, buy him a few more seconds, and that, you couldn't ask for a lot more there. It hit Burhoop's hands. He's obviously going to tell you he needed to make that catch there at that point. East in punting position now. And going to put their defense that's been out there a lot right back out there.
Another high-hanging punt, and Jackson give you a little heart attack again, catching it off the shoulder pads?
I don't know. He's making me nervous with the way he's catching that ball tonight. We'll see if that ends up being a factor later in the game. But nonetheless, Millard South in pretty good field position here, starting at looks like just about the Millard South 35 to begin this drive.
Glad you're with us here on News Channel Nebraska. Thursday night football between two top 10 teams in Class A. Millard South undefeated. The Spartans' lone loss coming to number 3 Kearney back in week 1. Back to the ground game for the Patriots on first down. Give them 3.
Be interesting to see how East works in and how aggressive they are working in those blitzes here. They were, like I was saying earlier, they were there. They had the blitzers, applying the pressure that they were trying to get on a few of those plays. It was just that Millard South was able to still make something out of it both times, and it's, good quarterbacking by Tamala there on those as well. Quick passes, quick thinking on those as well. East wants one of those to connect for a sack and really get them behind schedule here, as it looks like we're going to go to the end of the first quarter already with these two pass-happy teams, usually.
12 minutes in the books, and the Patriots will take a lead 7-0 here in Lincoln at Seacrest Field. You're watching Thursday Night Football on News Channel Nebraska.
Anything for the floor, O Street Carpet has it and more. From little feet to little paws, to updates and overhauls. From soft and cozy to durable and resilient. From something that blends in or something that's different. From DIY to custom install, O Street Carpet can help you with it all. Whatever your needs are for the floor, O Street Carpet has it and more.
That is literally the funniest thing ever.
And then I said,
it wasn't. But this guy could use a win. Even if it's not as big of a win as I get with free Kasasa Cash checking. Kasasa Cash pays me a really high rate and refunds ATM withdrawal fees nationwide. So I feel like a queen. Has a mega bank ever made you feel that way? Or is it more like this guy? Take back banking with Kasasa Cash.
Get Kasasa checking at Liberty First Credit Union.
And welcome back. Second quarter about to get underway, but we have a pre-snap whistle. A perfect time to go down to the sidelines to hear from the third member of our team, Kyle Mathis.
Thanks, Brandon. So I was standing by the Millard South sideline, and they were really emphasizing the run game, wanting to get the run game going. But so far in the first quarter, didn't really go as more of the pass game. And a big development for Lincoln East, their strong safety, Kelby Zimmerman, going to the locker room with what seems like an apparent injury. So we'll keep an eye on that. Back to you, Brandon.
Kyle, thank you very much. We'll certainly keep an eye on Zimmerman. We saw him get the ball early in this contest, and that is a starting DB that you would want against a very good passing team.
Yeah, and like you said, he'll contribute on offense as well in the running game. So hopefully that's something where they're able to get him back. Well, nice secondary work there by Lincoln East. Tomlin had time that time. He just couldn't really find anyone and ended up firing. The offensive line from Millard South kept the rush at bay here. He looked like he went to about his third choice on that play. Couldn't quite get it there.
That look brought to you by Beatrice Community Hospital. Big third down and long. Spartan defense would love nothing more than to get off the field here.
These are the plays they haven't been able to make so far tonight. Big one.
Tamala pressured, going for it all, and it's picked off.
Ooh.
INT for Luke Lindquist, his second pick of the season.
And Tamala got hit right there you're going to see it here by Noah Peterson right on the end of the play. Boom. He had to get rid of that in a hurry. And I think a little bit of the impact of the hit, or at least the hurry to get it out, I think he sensed that the pressure was coming and overthrew that thing in the hurry to get it out. And good job there by Noah Peterson. He obviously didn't get the interception there, but he was the one who caused that. Great job. And, of course, Lindquist has to bring it in, made the interception. East finally made that play on third down. Let's see what the offense can do now.
And again, that's not something Tamala does often. 13 touchdowns, and that is now just his second pick on the season. Can the Spartans take advantage? Dash Bauman getting it on first down. He picks up 3.
Boy, it's just kind of you don't even know what East would be best to do here with this situation, because typically you could think, okay, you're going to put Worthley back there and drop him back and throw some deep passes with a good wide receiver core, but I don't know if he's going to have enough time to do that tonight.
There's the quick pass, and it's complete.
That's exactly the kind of play that they need there. And get the ball to Owen Lasig here. He's got sure hands as well. I think that's his first catch of the evening tonight. And those quick strike passes give Worthley a chance to get in a little bit of a rhythm here.
And you are correct. First completion for the Spartans and Worthley. They're sticking to the air attack. This time it's batted down by big Harper Rutan.
They were gonna do the exact same thing there, basically, with I don't know if it was the exact same play called overall, but it was Owen Lasig on that out route there to the sideline. He liked it, but Millard South diagnosed it. Boy, Millard South's up there tight right now. They've got nobody deep. Look at this. Oh, and Worthley saw it, but oh, boy. That was a chess match pre-snap there, Brandon. And they're going to call it on Millard South.
Break for the Spartans. You mentioned maybe there could have been a lot more there.
Boy.
A shot to be had, but it'll be 5 yards.
I was just going to say credit to Worthley there. I think he kept seeing it and delaying it, and I don't know if he was going to an audible or what happened, or it went into a hard count there. But Millard South was bringing the house, or at least appeared to be bringing the house on that play.
Bauman gets the handoff. Tackled from behind, but not before an 8-yard pickup and another Lincoln East first down.
Bauman just put his hand up on Cooper Finney and just said, hey, as long as you keep running, nobody's going to get me from the front. So he rode Cooper Finney there on that one to the first down.
And that looks like a complete replay of the outcome of that play.
Yeah.
It was Rutan again who batted down the quick pass from Worthley.
Same guy from Millard South knocked both of them down? Huh, wow, that's impressive.
Reminder, this second quarter is brought to you by Steve Carper and the crew at O Street Carpet. Check them out at the intersection of 17th and O. O Street Carpet, our second quarter sponsor here on NCN. Another handoff to Bauman. And Bauman still going, legs churning, finally pushed out of bounds. Give the man 11 yards.
Now, I'm not smart enough to know John Gingery's entire playbook. I feel like that was about the same, at least the same concept as they had before, where they pull the left guard, get him on the outside. They're used to saying tonight, hey, we find something that works, we're going to go ahead and do it until you change it up. And we've seen them do that twice here on this drive.
Officials timeout here. So first down and 10. Ball on the 38, 10.5 to go before halftime, and we have a flag after the officials' timeout.
You see, did you see what that play was going to be, though?
Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Finney was going, they had 79. There you go.
Just flipping it over.
Ready to do the exact same thing, and so I think there, if I'm looking at this right, I think there, yeah.
Well, look out, Bauman's in the open field up the sidelines and near a first down.
So I'll tell you why they kept running that the whole time. They were setting that thing up. They still pulled Finney. Now they've been switching 79 Finney on either side. They've been flipping him around, so it's always him who's pulling out no matter which direction that it is. And they did it again, but then they threw it the other direction. That was a little bit of a misdirection there, and he's on the left side now.
That one's off the hands of Lasik.
Need a little bit more mustard on that one, which is very rarely a problem for Jeter Worthley, as we saw last week with the way. And he's a baseball catcher, and so he's been, you got to have a strong arm to be a Division I baseball recruit at catcher, and we saw a little bit of that, but probably needed a little. I don't think he got his full body into that one, maybe.
Bauman trying to get to the edge. He cuts it up, and it'll be enough for another first down. Great drive here for the Spartans.
I hope 79 Finney wore his Fitbit tonight, because he's getting a lot more steps than he expected to on the offensive line. Extra few pieces of pizza after the game. At least I would.
6'1", 290, Cooper Finney, the senior. First down and 10 for Lincoln East.
Every play.
Burhoop on the bubble screen, nothing there.
Did you see that gap on that play between the center and the guard? I don't know if that's intentional for what they've been doing here with pulling out the guard every single time, and let's see, you might be able to see it here again. Yeah, look at that. Look at that guard between 53, the center, and Finney, 79.
Worthley, plenty of time here.
Oh.
And unable to haul it in is Lasig on the curl route.
It was not a perfect throw, but they've got to get that. When they have the chance to do that, they've got to hit those. I was a little underthrown, and he was on the run.
Third down and long. 7-0 your score here on the Currency scoreboard. The Spartans trying to answer Millard South's touchdown in the first quarter. Worthley, he's dancing. No one open downfield. And the ball is out. Ball pops out, and the Patriots, do they recover?
What? No.
I think the
they're going to say
official
the ball went out of bounds, I think.
That, or was a Patriot out of bounds when they touched it? Let's just look here on the replay.
Boy, a great break for Lincoln East either way. Oh, yeah.
That must have been what the call was.
So that was the call, is that he was touching the ball but didn't have possession.
And was out of bounds.
And was out of bounds.
It's a 4th down and 5, and Spartan offense on the field.
Interesting. Probably could try for the 3 here, but they're this far down. They're going to give it a shot after that fumble. Oh!
And so that's the old Aiden Miller says he moved, so I'm going to push him, but I don't think he's going to get the call he was hoping for.
Credit to the right guard there also for just taking that and making sure, because you move and you never know. They might call a false start there.
Hey, the Spartans will take it. That's first set of downs.
They came out, and, maybe they weren't going to run a play there. I don't know. It could have been something where they're going to say, hey, we're going to try and draw them off, and if we do. But they're really playing to the aggressiveness of that Millard South defensive line, I think, right now in a lot of different ways, including that snap count there. Boy.
Just receiver and quarterback not on the same page there. That was Ford, the intended target.
Boy, East really needs to come away with some points on this drive, though. Even if it's 3 here at this point, I think that would be incredibly significant.
A reminder to stay tuned for our halftime show brought to you by Columbus Community Hospital, where your health is their top priority. Yeah, that one eaten up. Flag comes in late, yeah. Nowhere really for Bauman.
I don't know if they're going to get a holding on that play. If anyone was held, it didn't do much good there on that play.
It would be a face mask?
Yeah,
we'll find out.
It could have been. Yep. Wow.
15-yarder.
Boy.
And the Spartans continue to move the ball this way by way of penalty, but they are getting closer and closer to the end zone. Ball on the 10.
It's kind of similar to that one of those first plays of the drive here where Millard South just crushed it. East has kind of said, hey, we need to get it to the outside against these guys because they're going to get up the middle so quickly. And I think that's got to do with their spacing off the offensive line, the way they've been pulling guards too.
And Worthley gets the ball in the hands of Ford, brought down near the 5. It's another first down. First and goal to go from the 5.
This has been an impressively schemed drive by Lincoln East. From the way they had the running game going in the middle to the coming out on the 4th down, drawing the offsides, couple of defensive penalties here, and it hasn't been big chunks for the most part. It's been piece by piece here. Bauman had a solid run at this point, but I think it's been really solidly schemed against just trying to scheme around a defensive line that's pretty dominant.
Worthley's going to keep it himself. Spins away from one defender.
Just got nothing there in the middle, man. I mean, it's... I think East is trying to, with their splits, they're trying to maybe spread out that defensive line a little bit more, but when they've tried to go up the middle, whether it's a quarterback, whether it's Bauman, whether it's a pass rush up the middle, it's been a problem right now.
And that, I believe, was Bauman, and he had nowhere to go.
Right up the middle again. Yep, that was Bauman.
Again, you have Aiden Miller, 6'4", 250. You have Harper Rutan, 6'1", 225. J.R. Laquana, 6'3", 255. Pugh, 6'3", 235.
Yeah.
Those are some big boys and athletic guys.
And we talk about how young the offense is for Millard South. I don't know if they're all seniors or 3 of the 4 of them are seniors, but some experience along that defensive line too. Need to go to the outside here.
Burhoop was in motion. He's going for the pylon and pushed down at the 1.
Now what do you do here? I mean, you've got to go for it, I think. But when you're at the 1 yard line, your first thought is, hey, well, plunge it up the middle. But that's the one thing that has not been productive at all for this Lincoln East offense.
And Coach Gingery, knowing how important this is, takes a timeout. 4th and goal to go. Ball on the 1. 7-0 your score on the Aurora Cooperative scoreboard. Go green with E15 and fill up at your nearest A stop today. Jack, to your point, what's the play call? You're Coach Gingery.
I think what I would do is play action up the middle and then give Jeter Worthley a run pass option off that. Is probably, and get him on the outside, a rollout. But play action it up the middle. And if you have to pass it, you have to pass it. I know, listen, 4th and 1, you're going up, you're getting that quarterback sneak. You're the Philadelphia Eagles. You get Jalen Hurts in there, right? You do that quarterback sneak. I don't know if East can do that tonight. That defensive line is that good here at this point. So I think I'm getting Lasig maybe on a little out route. So Jeter Worthley has an option on the outside, maybe to that left side here. Maybe you pull that guard out again too.
Well, look at this formation.
Yeah, I don't think that. Oh, heavy on the right. They're just going to do a quarterback run to the right.
Peltz lead blocking for Worthley, who finds the end zone.
It's a quarterback sneak, but a little less traditional, one might say.
The Spartans answer against number 2 Millard South. And here's another look at that play, brought to you by Beatrice Community Hospital.
Like I said, they said we're gonna move the line of scrimmage, Brandon, to the right hash essentially of the field because they've got defensive backs and linebackers out there, not that defensive line that we're having trouble with, and it essentially just shifted as the extra point looks like it's good, nearly blocked. They basically shifted the line of scrimmage horizontally on that play, which is what I thought they might do that even though it was 1 yard to go. So credit East with scheming on that one. Defensive line is still playing great for Millard South, but East kind of schemed around it there. Can they keep doing that all night long? We'll see.
7-7 here in Lincoln. Number 2 Millard South and number 8 Lincoln East. Glad you're with us. Brandon Axement, Jack Mitchell, Kyle Mathis. Thursday Night Football here on News Channel Nebraska. That is the thing to mention. Is it sustainable for the Spartans? You would say on paper, this is a top 10 matchup, but Millard South has the talent a little bit more so than Lincoln East, even though there's great athletes on both teams. They are the favorites, sitting at 5-0 and having the impressive resume of beating the teams and beating the teams handily that they have.
I mean, that's what it is. You look at that resume from Millard South, and you hammered Elkhorn South, you hammer Gretna, two teams that have been two of the best in the state, and this is going to help a lot.
Big time return by Jones across midfield, so great field position coming up for the Patriots.
East, not something East could afford here in that situation. We'll see what they can do defensively, but as I was saying, I came into this game looking at the resume that Millard South did, and those two games stuck out to me. And as I said during our open there on the field, I know, that'll change things very significantly. Millard South has been, penalties have been vexing for them so far tonight. But back to what I was saying, listen, I think Westside is the best team in the state. They've been rolling. Everybody knows that. They're filled with Division I athletes. They've blown out some really good teams too. But I see what Millard South has done, and they're in second place, right on the heels of Westside right now, at least based on resumes so far. And so, Lincoln East to be here at 7-7 here at this point, they're gonna have to continue to hang on. But as confidence builds throughout this game, if you get in the third quarter, the fourth quarter, you're still there. That's going to set things up really well, I think, for East at this point. Big drive here for Millard South. They're going to continue to try and run it.
And that's Prussia. He's been the bell cow. That's his 8th carry. Give him about 2.
And the report that we had earlier, the talk on the Millard South sideline is establishing that run game, probably largely with they haven't really gotten it going for the most part at this point. For as dominant along the line as they've been on defense, you haven't really seen that in the run game for Millard South.
Tomala rolling out. Going up top and dropping it in there for Dominic Dugan. Incomplete, though.
He thought he caught it. I don't know if he says he was out of bounds. It looked complete to me up here. Now we have a fairly distant angle. Maybe this replay will help a little bit on that.
So it must have been out of bounds.
It's kind of hard to tell where the line is there, but yeah, that was close. That was close. So 3rd and 7 here. Let's see what kind of pressure Lincoln East is going to bring here.
A little swing pass, and
wow,
that's not near enough for a first down.
Noah Peterson, that defensive lineman out there moving, and I don't know if he's even going to get credit for the final tackle on that play, but he got out there, and Millard South lining up to go for it on 4th and 7. What is happening?
Patriot offense.
Maybe trying to draw East offline and a little offsides and a little payback here.
You would think the penalty would be enough for a first down.
They did it. Are you kidding me?
That is tough break for the Spartans.
You absolutely knew that's what was happening there. You absolutely knew that was. Or was there a timeout? They got a timeout called before to say, do not close your ears, get your eyes on that ball up on the defensive line, because this is what they're doing here. I would think Millard South is going to come out and punt it now.
Some high-level coaching from Coach Gingery and his decades of experience. You see Ty Wisdom just in his 2nd year with this program, but he had the chance to learn under longtime Millard South head coach Andy Means. So you have young versus old in the contrast of the coaches here tonight.
Yeah, we've got the new and the old, and Millard South had obviously the longtime coach in Means as well, but it has been impressive the way that Millard South has really put already this season, whatever happens here tonight, but what they're doing already this year, and really the rejuvenation of this program here and the future that they've got with a lot of young guys across that offense. East is just going to get away from that one.
So the Spartan defense forces a 3 and out. They get the ball right here with 5.5 to go before the break.
Absolutely. Credit to them. You had the run that didn't go much of anywhere, that on the line catch, and East defense did exactly what they needed there, and now you got Millard South's defense that's going to be the one who's spent a lot of time on the field here. Be interesting to see how East schemes this. So they're going to go back to what they tried last time around, try and get Dash Bauman on the edge. Will there be a deep shot at any point, especially if Millard South is going to really creep up with some of that stuff?
Well, be sure to stay tuned for our halftime highlights presented by Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Sartor Heyman will help make your jewelry dreams come true. Halftime just around the corner as Bauman gets the carry on first down.
So Worthley bobbled the ball a little bit. I think that might have helped East on that one because the defensive line saw that ball potentially being on the ground. They got upfield quickly. I think that gave Bauman a little bit more room on that one. If you're East right now, 5 minutes and ticking, 5:08 and ticking on this clock, I think you want to eat up whatever happens on this thing. You got enough time. If you're going down the field, you got enough time to get down there and score, but you'd be really glad to get a couple of first downs here and take some time off the clock. And another penalty.
And this one looks like it'll be against the Spartans.
That was on Finney, who's played so well tonight. It looked like East had that pretty well protected there. Hard to tell.
So 4:42, second down and long.
East might be cutting it close with the play clock here unless they really hurry up.
4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Snaps off.
That play was too rushed from the beginning. They took too long in the huddle, and it was kind of a timing play with Dash Bauman on the outside there, and it never worked out. And now you got 3rd and 12. I wouldn't be surprised here if East just runs the ball here. Yeah, he wasn't expecting it yet.
Millard South with all 3 of its timeouts. And it's play action. Worthley.
Jeez.
Just throwing it away. That
Wow.
was rooting again with the pressure.
They're so fast. They're back there so fast. Worthley has such a small amount of time to do anything back there. And that clock stops at 4:20, so plenty of time now for Millard South to get down there and try and reclaim the lead here before halftime. Nice punt. Very nice punt.
Another fair catch by Jackson at the 22. So 4.5 to go. Millard South started with the ball, so the Spartans will get it to start the third quarter.
Yeah. Boy, Lincoln East defense has a chance to really, really get that confidence up for the second half. If you can keep Millard South off the scoreboard here and say, hey, last 2 drives here of the half, we kept them off the board, getting the ball here to begin the second half. This is, you make a defensive stand here, and you get into upset mindset territory here with this whole game. And they're probably not thinking of it as upset mindset territory, but coming in, it's hard not to look at it this way based on just the resumes of these teams.
There's an 8-yard completion to Jensen. Now under 4 to go before the halftime break. Tamala with plenty of time.
He's going to run it.
Doing it with his legs here. Pushed out near the 45-yard line.
Really going to be interesting to see how he develops again as a sophomore, but he's 6'4". I mean, he's got the prototypical quarterback size right now. They probably like a little bit more beef on him probably eventually down the road, but 6'4", slinging it around in this offense right now. It's going to be fun to see what he becomes over the course of the next 2 years.
And there's a completion to Dugan.
Credit there to Burhoop. He slipped a little bit, realizing the pass was coming in, and gained his balance back, hung on just long enough, did the old wrap up. Coaches are yelling from the sideline. If anybody's played football, as a coach yell at him to wrap up, that's what he did there. Held him just long enough to get some help and get the stop.
Tamala pressured. And that was nicely done by that East defensive line. And the secondary to cover it downfield.
Now, Peterson didn't get the sack there, but he was the first one in. And a little move, just got him off there. And then I believe it was Chedek that came in next. But Noah Peterson so far on this East defense he's been incredibly impressive all night long for Lincoln East, and getting just that little bit of pressure that has kind of put this Millard South offense off kilter from where it's been the last couple of weeks.
3rd down and 3 for Millard South. They take a timeout. We will as well. 2:54 to go before halftime. 7-7 ball game here at Seacrest. We'll be back.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Western Oil, your first and last stop to and from the game. By USafe Pharmacy, dedicated to the well-being of all our customers. And by Zollner Ford Lincoln, proud to be your local Ford and Lincoln dealer.
Welcome back. 3rd down and 3. Less than 3 to play before halftime here at Seacrest Field in Lincoln. And the Spartan defense is going to hold here. It brings up 4th and about 1.
Think they might go for this? They're gonna think. They're definitely gonna think about. Boy, they did not get a good spot on that. Whew. I thought you were gonna be a yard away, maybe less than a yard away. They're 2 full yards away right now. They are gonna go for it. It looks like though. Same thing though. Now, how much are you gonna link in these defensive lines' head about make sure you don't jump? If I'm Millard South, I still at least try a hard count first. Although they're going with no huddle here, so.
I think that's Ian Langer taking the snap.
Oh, nice note.
Backup quarterback.
I don't think he got him.
It's going to depend on the spot. The near line judge has him short. The far one has him right at the marker.
He put the ball down there, though.
So they put in Ian Langer. Must be more of the running quarterback, and we're going to have a measurement.
My goodness. Nice catch there, Brandon. I didn't even see that. Boy, and they ran it fast. They weren't trying any kind of chicanery with a hard count there. And they're gonna have to bring the chains all the way in from the. That's as far as the chain gang is gonna have to run all night.
It looks from our vantage point like it'll be short.
Yeah, I think so too. And that spot on the last play after the 3rd down play was really instrumental in that too. But they got the 1st down. Wow.
Our eyes deceived us.
Boy, it didn't move. It was just kind of looking across, and it's about dead even with where I'm sitting at in the press box, but.
So the drive continues for Millard South.
All right, so 2 timeouts left still for Millard South. 2:02 remaining. The clock's going to run again right now. They're going to keep the running quarterback in.
Langer gets about
I wonder if on that play when he took the hit from, I believe it was Chedek, if he got banged up a little bit. If Tamala did.
We'll get Kyle on that.
We'll see what if Kyle can at least see what's happened with Tamala on the sideline, but he took that's the one thing I can remember. And here comes Chedek again. They're setting up the screen. Oh boy. Now you got a 3rd and 8 again. Even a more interesting decision to go for it on 4th when you didn't have your, at least for the moment at least, you didn't have Tamala, your starting quarterback there. Longer, by the way, a senior. So he's been here a while. He's got the experience factor over the starting quarterback here, and he's got 3rd and 9 here. Clock still running at this point. There's the hard count again. Although that's not going to get him a 1st down yet.
Well, coverage tonight is brought to you in part thanks to Zollner Ford Lincoln of Beatrice. Also, high school sports on News Channel Nebraska are proudly presented by Liberty First Credit Union, banking with purpose. Find out more at libertyfirstcu.com. And also presented by Currency, which makes financing quick, easy, and secure for machinery, ag equipment, and more. Visit gocurrency.com. So 3rd and 4 here after the penalty. And now Langer throwing and completing his first pass. That's good for 7 and a 1st down.
They weren't really preserving clock. Now they have to. They started this drive with plenty of time left, and they still do the Patriots. They still have 2 timeouts left here at this point. So, but the clock is running here again. Let's start ticking down.
Langer running. Picks up about 15 more.
Wonder if they're going to use a timeout here or if they're going to keep moving. Yeah, it looks like they will use a timeout here. The East will take the timeout here. Well, they have to adjust to the strategy a little bit. This is a sea change here in the offensive type when you bring in a new quarterback here for Millard South.
So final 28 seconds here in the second quarter. 7-7 game between number 8 Lincoln East and number 2 Millard South. Here on News Channel Nebraska, Brandon Axemit, Jack Mitchell, Kyle Mathis with you for all of the action here on Thursday Night Football. It's been a good one up to this point.
It really has. Pop some popcorn there, whatever you need to do at halftime, and keep it on News Channel Nebraska here, because this is going to be a really interesting second half, especially now that we don't know what the situation is for Millard South at quarterback here at this point. We don't know anything about it here at this point. Do you see him on the sideline?
He's straight across from us at midfield. Helmet is off. Jet Tomala not really being looked at by the training staff, as Langer nearly picked off. Pass is incomplete.
Yeah, just a real interesting development. And then meanwhile, we're at 21 seconds now. Again, 2 timeouts left for Millard South. And you feel like a field goal would be still pretty significant here for Millard South at this point, because with these two kind of high-flying, passing teams, high-scoring teams, we've turned this into a Nebraska-Michigan, at least on the scoreboard here at this point, which is something I didn't expect necessarily tonight.
Option for Langer. And this junior quarterback, he runs hard.
So, tell you what, they're getting some chunk plays on that quarterback run. I mean, no matter what the situation is, East is going to have to figure out, hey, we game plan for something entirely different here, not necessarily the quarterback run, as Millard South is going to take a timeout. We got 14 seconds now, 1 timeout left for the Patriots here at this point.
We'll take a quick break. We'll wrap up the second half when we return.
From the moment something didn't feel quite right, to that ambulance arriving at your door, from the immediate diagnosis, to the surgery that followed, to the long list of lifestyle changes, and that family gathering that everyone always talked about, but for whatever reason kept getting postponed, to the moment you sat back and realized how grateful you are for everything you have. We've been here for you, just around the corner. Columbus Community Hospital.
Life is a wild ride. It's important to have a trusted partner along the way. Liberty First Credit Union exists to provide its members with affordable financial services. Whether it is a large purchase, a new car or home remodel, overcoming obstacles, or chasing your dreams, financing life is what we do best. Give us a call or visit Liberty First C.
So quickly out of the timeout, Langer takes the carry and picks up 4, first down.
Clock stops with the first down. He'll spike it here, I think, yeah. Down to 9 seconds. 1 timeout left. Millard South didn't want to use that timeout there, because I think they want to try and run the ball in here.
9 seconds remaining. Ball on the 7, 2nd and goal to go. As you mentioned, Millard South still with the timeout. Langer's going to go to the air, and pass is deflected.
Man.
That's Ford with the great play.
Now they've got to either kick the field goal. They don't have enough time to take another play. They're going to take that timeout into the half now. Barring, yeah, they're just going to kick the field goal here. I think you could have given Longer another shot to run it there and use the timeout. He looked great coming in off the bench, running really hard here. We'll see if Millard South can take the lead here just before halftime.
24-yarder attempted by Thompson. It's through. Nathan Thompson puts the Patriots on top as we head to halftime. Your score, number 2 Millard South 10, and number 8 Lincoln East 7 here in Lincoln. Stay with us. Our high school halftime report coming up next. You're watching News Channel Nebraska.
My dad's addiction and death from overdosing on opioids has taught me it's likely that everybody knows somebody who is struggling with this very problem. Losing my mentor, my best friend, he took one pill too many that ultimately killed him.
The Halftime Report on NCN is sponsored by Columbus Community Hospital, where your health matters.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
It's the season. The excitement of going to sporting events, sitting in the bleachers, rooting for the neighbor kid that mowed your lawn, delivered papers, or played a few pranks in the neighborhood. The first stop, of course, though, is your local Speedy Mart convenience store. Fuel for the journey. Speedy Mart, your area store with Nebraska roots and community ties. No matter if it's a win or a loss, Speedy Mart can make you feel better before or after the game.
Whether we're talking commercial or residential plumbing, Lamel Plumbing is the place you call. Lamel provides 24-hour emergency service as well. Call them if you get in a tight spot. And as for their retail items, well, you got to check out some of their faucets, some of their kitchen items, and some of their bathroom items like their Onyx showers. And hey, say you've got a digging job, you call Lamel Plumbing for that too. They've added a full-time crew for you, doing backhoe, trenching, and sewer work. Take that digging job off your list and have Lamel do it for you. That's Lamel Plumbing in Beatrice, now at their new location on North 7th Street in Beatrice.
NCN Sports is sponsored by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of the pain, not just the symptoms. Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always. And by Claybaugh Pharmacy, your locally owned hometown pharmacy.
Some jobs are hard work, but it's often the hardest jobs that are the most important. NPPD, powering our state, empowering your life. When what you do makes a vast impact on the state and its communities, there's nothing better. NPPD, powering our state, empowering your life.
For over 40 years, Claybaugh Pharmacy has been your trusted, family-owned, full-service pharmacy. We provide traditional medical options, medical equipment, immunizations, and over-the-counter products. We take pride in going above and beyond to improve the health of our community. And to ensure you have a seamless experience, manage your profile and refills with a touch of the finger from home. Claybaugh Pharmacy in downtown Beatrice, your hometown family-owned pharmacy.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. I love it. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
We're definitely coming back in the future.
We have a wedding band to buy. So.
We do, yes, the wedding bands. We'll be back for that.
Starter Heyman Jewelers, downtown 12th and O, South Point Pavilions, and Grand Island.
Women have a 1 in 8 chance for developing breast cancer. Early detection makes a difference. Beatrice Community Hospital's Imaging Center can help with the latest technology, from screening with 3D mammography, breast MRI, breast ultrasound, and breast biopsy. All services conveniently located in the BCH's Imaging Center. Schedule your screening today. Incredible care, incredibly close.
So this yellow jacket, it basically symbolizes that it's showtime.
The Yellow Jackets are a throwback to Monday Night Football.
The 1970s, Keith Jackson, Howard Cosell.
That was the big broadcast in the country. Now we're the big broadcast in Nebraska.
When News Channel Nebraska is covering a game, we want you to know that we take it seriously. We want to dress sharp. We have pride in what we do.
And we're going to wear those yellow jackets to show people, you know, we're a little old school, but we're also the important broadcast of the night.
A new year, a fresh start, a resolution to grow more, gain more, give more. The process is the same: plant, grow, harvest. But the way you do it is always evolving. And so are we, Aurora Cooperative. Grow, gain, give. Aurora and you.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Currency. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. By Central Nebraska Orthopedics, dedicated to the motion of life. And by Region 4 Behavioral Health, quality mental health and substance abuse services.
And welcome back here to Seacrest Field. Currently at halftime, Millard South 10, Lincoln East 7. Here on News Channel Nebraska, Brandon Axemit, Jack Mitchell, and Kyle Mathis with you. Now's a great time to take a look at our halftime highlights. Brought to you by Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Stunning engagement collections, exceptional diamonds, and dazzling gemstones can be found at their Lincoln and Grand Island locations. How about that circuit catch by Amarian Jackson, the lone catch that he has up to this point for the talented sophomore, but this passing attack for the Patriots would strike first. Mixed direction, then dumped off to Dylan Cool. That's in the first quarter. The Patriots get on the board 7-0. But this Spartan defense does something that not many defenses against Millard South have been able to do. That's pick off Jet Tomala, the talented sophomore. That INT coming from Luke Lindquist, and it would set up a scoring drive for the Spartans. That pass to Burhoop there sets up 4th down and 1. Coach Kingery says we're going for it. And Jeter Wordley following Troy Peltz and company and gets into the end zone to tie things up midway through the second quarter. A very impressive drive to answer for the Spartans. But the Patriots do take the lead into halftime. As time expires, Nathan Thompson, a 24-yard field goal, making it 10-7. Those are your Sartor Heyman Jewelers halftime highlights. And Jack, your thoughts on what we saw in the first half where we're sitting?
Yeah, it's East has done exactly what they needed to do to get this game into the second half and increase that confidence as they go forward in their defense, despite the fact they gave up a field goal there on that last drive. That defense believes that they've got what it takes now to at least slow down that Millard South offense, and credit to East in this entire time. Now, they get the ball first here coming out, and then obviously there's the huge question, what's Millard South's offense going to be during the second half? Tomala came out. We don't know a lot about what his situation is. We don't want to speculate about it. But if Langer is playing, I should say, for Millard South, it looks like a different offense for Millard South because you're going to want him to use him to run the ball, which we saw during that. And so East is going to have to come out being ready for two different things here at this point. And then the East offense, how do they manage that huge push the Millard South defensive line has been able to get play after play? They've schemed around it pretty well, but will it cost them? Feels like a turnover could be huge in this game.
Pivotal drive, too, for the Spartans. You mentioned them needing to prepare defensively for Millard South. They need to make sure they make the most of getting the ball to start this third quarter.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Get down there again, and like I said, keep figuring out ways to play away from Millard South's strengths on that defense, which they've done a good job of. But you get the feeling that this is going to be a game where, hey, 17 points might win this thing tonight at this point. And so if they can get to go down there and get points right away here on this first drive, that'll be huge for Lincoln East.
You're currently at halftime here on News Channel Nebraska. Thursday night football in Lincoln. Millard South 10, Lincoln East 7. We'll be back.
Plumbing needs attention? Trust the experts at John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical. No matter the size of the job, John Henry's brings extensive expertise to handle everything your home's plumbing system requires. So whether your drain is clogged, your water heater needs an upgrade, or you want to remodel your kitchen or bathroom, we're here for you. Reach out to us today and discover why, since 1996, we've proudly served families as the most reliable plumbing company in the Lincoln area. John Henry's, our family serving yours since 1996.
Champions are crowned each year in Lincoln. All of us at Visit Lincoln welcome the athletes, families, and fans from across Nebraska to our community. When the final whistle blows and the game ends, make sure to discover how Lincoln can make your stay even more memorable. Stop by the Visitor Center at 7th and P in the Haymarket or visit us on the web at lincoln.org. Visit Lincoln is a proud supporter of high school athletics.
At Zollner Ford, come and see our great selection of new Ford vehicles. Whether you're looking to buy new or you need a car serviced, it's our pleasure to assist you. Our online website makes shopping even easier. Browse our massive inventory of vehicles or schedule your next maintenance appointment. We even offer drop-off and pickup services. Stop by today or visit us online at zollnerofbeatrice.com.
Fuel your journey by starting at a Speedy Mart store near you. From the small communities in Nebraska to the larger cities, the staff at Speedy Marts are ready to serve you with food, fuel, and rewards. Save 5 cents per gallon with the Fuel Your Journey fill up plus additional bonus savings. Download the app for mobile pay, offering customers the highest quality branded food and treats, fresh, ready, and convenient. Check out SpeedyMart.com for locations and job opportunities.
Welcome back to halftime. We're about 5 minutes away from third quarter action here in Lincoln. Braden Axement, Jack Mitchell, Kyle Mathis with you. Now's a great time to take a look at our NCN rankings. We release these at noon every Monday, and here's where things sit in Class A. We've talked about Westside. They are the team to beat. Millard South, though, considered by some, and ourselves included, not far behind necessarily the Warriors, sitting at 5-0. The Bearcats, we're going to see them tomorrow, actually, Jack, taking on Grand Island.
That'll be a great game. That's always a good rivalry, but especially when both of those teams are good, and you've got that this year.
So, we're looking forward to that. And again, just rounding out the top 10, Millard West, their lone loss to Millard South by 1 in Week 1. You have Omaha North rounding out the top 5. Elkhorn South and Gretna, both teams were their lone losses to the Patriots. Lincoln East, as we're seeing tonight, Grand Island, Papillion La Vista entering the rankings as well at number 10.
Yeah, it's interesting. I know you can't really compare teams just by the scores of games 1-1, but if East keeps this thing even close here at this point, they will have fared a lot better against Millard South than either 6 or 7 Elkhorn South or Gretna has done. So we'll see if they could even have a loss and maybe move up in these rankings.
Again, these are the rankings compiled by our NCN sports team, released every Monday. If you go to newschannelnebraska.com or follow us on Twitter at NCN Sports, you'll have a chance to see them each and every week. 10-7 our score here at halftime. Teams are coming back out on the field. Third quarter will be underway in about 3 minutes. Stay with us. You're watching Thursday Night Football on NCN.
It all started long ago with cattle in mind, and it's still the major focus today of Powder River Livestock Handling Equipment and your friends at Valley Vet Supply in Marysville. They want to provide you with the best equipment. That's why they sell Powder River. It truly does stand the test of time. Powder River is a name you can trust. From cattle handling systems to gates and feeders, Powder River makes equipment for life. Come see for yourself at Valley Vet Supply on Highway 36 in Marysville.
Let your next adventure take flight in Sarpy County, Nebraska for some high-flying fun. Legendary family adventures. Out-of-this-world shopping. Star-studded evenings. And award-winning experiences. Our flights are never canceled. Stay, play, and plan your getaway at GoSarpy.com.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Western Oil, your first and last stop to and from the game. By USafe Pharmacy, dedicated to the well-being of all our customers. And by Zollner Ford Lincoln, proud to be your local Ford and Lincoln dealer.
For over 40 years, Claybaugh Pharmacy has been your trusted, family-owned, full-service pharmacy. We provide traditional medical options, medical equipment, immunizations, and over-the-counter products. We take pride in going above and beyond to improve the health of our community. And to ensure you have a seamless experience, manage your profile and refills with the touch of the finger from home. Claybaugh Pharmacy in downtown Beatrice, your hometown family-owned pharmacy.
NCN Sports is sponsored by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of the pain, not just the symptoms. Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always. And by Claybaugh Pharmacy, your locally owned hometown pharmacy.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
It's the season. The excitement of going to sporting events, sitting in the bleachers, rooting for the neighbor kid that mowed your lawn, delivered papers, or played a few pranks in the neighborhood. The first stop, of course, though, is your local Speedy Mart convenience store. Fuel for the journey. Speedy Mart, your area store with Nebraska roots and community ties. No matter if it's a win or a loss, Speedy Mart can make you feel better before or after the game.
What does farming mean to you? For most, it's hard work, dedication, and livelihood. Unfortunately, that also comes with risk. At Nebraska Crop Insurance in Beatrice, they know the non-stop dedication involved to keep your family protected from that risk and ensure their livelihood. Not only do they know everything about the coverage you need, they're also farmers themselves. So protect what means the most to you with the agent who knows what it means to be a farmer. Nebraska Crop Insurance, 615 Dorsey Street in Beatrice.
A partner in your everyday since 1975. Woodhouse.
NCN Sports is sponsored by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of the pain, not just the symptoms. Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always. And by Claybaugh Pharmacy, your locally owned hometown pharmacy.
Welcome back here to Seacrest. Third quarter action about to get underway. The Spartans will be getting the ball first.
Fired up, Brandon. Got a close game. Two ranked teams, Lincoln versus Omaha. I'm not going to be looking at the scoreboard, I don't think, to see if we're getting into running clock territory here, unlike some of the games that I've done with you over the last few years. So let's settle in for a great second half of football here on News Channel Nebraska.
We will absolutely take this. Number 2 against number 8, and just 3 points separating them as we start this third quarter. Let's go down to the third member of our broadcast team, Kyle Mathis.
Thanks, Brandon. I talked to Ty Wisdom in the halftime break, and he talked a little bit about how consistency is needed in defense and how his offense needs to get some good running plays. He also gave us an update on Jet Tamal. He actually had no update on him. He didn't tell us what was going on with him, but Jet was warming up on the sideline. And then for John Ginger, he said they need to be consistent, make no mistakes, and get some points on the board, guys.
Thanks, Kyle. And We're just going to keep our eyes on quarterback Tamala. Love the coach talk. You have to keep your hands close, cards close to your vest there.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I'm not sure what we're going to do with that to help anybody out, but if he was warming up on the sideline, I think there's probably a decent chance there that we'll see him back, as we have a rare running back with a false start there for Lincoln East.
Handoff to Dash Bauman, and for those of you just joining us, so starting quarterback Jet Tamala, who's thrown for nearly 1,300 yards. He went out kind of in the final quarter of the second quarter, and we haven't seen him since. Ian Langer, the senior quarterback, came in. He's more of a running specialist, and he's who led the Millard South Patriots into halftime. So that's kind of what we're trying to figure out, what will be happening here for the Millard South offense here in the third quarter. 2nd and 11 for East, and Lasig, the intended target there. He was blanketed by Javante Walker.
Nice coverage there by Walker. A few people, I can hear some of the East faithful wanting a pass interference penalty, but a little hand play going both directions there. But East taking a shot. They haven't had a lot of opportunity to do that here tonight, so taking the chance while they can get it.
There's a completion to Lasig. He will be about 2 yards shy of the marker. And the Spartans will bring out the punting unit.
Jeter Worthley was trying to convince his sideline to go for it on 4th down there. I don't think they're going to in a 10-7 game, even though it's only 4th and 2 here at this point.
Well, and again, this defense, so hard to move the ball. Have to love the young man's ambitious attitude, but Coach Gingery says, I've seen this a couple times before. We'll kick it away. Jackson this time returning his first punt of the night.
Flag down.
Yeah, flag back near the 40 as he's tackled at midfield.
Well behind the play, too. That's at about the 41-yard line is where they threw it, 42. So, again, Millard South might be hurt by a flag here, which is, boy, it's really tormented them throughout the night, the penalty flags. Yep.
And again against the Patriots.
So instead of Lincoln East territory, they're going to start on their own 32. You see the Lincoln East punter there on the replay was hoping for a little bit of a little roughing call, despite getting the hand extended to help him up.
Colin Neehee, that was 165 against Aiden Miller's 250, but acting job didn't work for him there.
The big guy looked very nice, though, offering to help him up. And he did kind of the same thing, getting through on that punt block that he has throughout much of the night on the defensive line for Millard South.
It's 4 yards on 1st down.
Although I don't think I support big guys wearing 0. That's just, or really any single-digit number, to be honest.
Just aesthetically not working for you?
It's not. It just doesn't, I don't know. It's not a good fashion. I want my big guys wearing 99. Oh.
And so to the point about the quarterback, Jet Tamala is back in.
Tamala's in.
Incomplete pass there, though, brings up 3rd down and 6.
So I don't know. So we don't know if there was an injury, if it was a coach's decision. It's hard to imagine that he would have been pulled for anything other than at least, than some level of a physical problem, given what he's meant for this team this year. So good pressure though by East and forcing Tamala to throwing away 3rd down here.
And that one's off the hands of Jackson. 3 and out for the Patriots. I'd like to remind you this third quarter is brought to you by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of the pain, not just the symptoms. Husker Rehab.
And we got dueling 3 and outs here to start this in one of the more unlikely defensive battles here that maybe we thought they would see. And it's not to say that you don't have good defenses here on the field. Millard Southeast obviously have been solid on defense this year, but you have some high-flying offenses.
Low punt, chance to return. It's off the shoulder pads of Burhoop.
Oh.
And he does the smart thing and just falls on it.
That thing was coming in at about 80 miles an hour there for Burhoop. It bounced off the shoulder pad. He thought about just trying to pick that up and still getting a return, and great decision to just get his body on it. Hey, you're going to sacrifice whatever that was, 8 yards going backwards, but that's the type of play, and I still think there's a great chance that this game is going to turn on a turnover like that for somebody that's going to give one of these offenses a short field.
4 wide here for the Spartans on first down. Handoff goes to Bauman. He's across the 30.
About as much success as we've seen for East have up the middle there with Dash Bauman, and he just kind of slithers in there and back and forth, kind of pinballs off people and slips out of arm tackles. Said he's an interesting combination of agility and size there for Bauman that you see for this running back. And
there he goes again, first down East.
That outside running game that's been where it's at for East tonight. Again, getting those offensive linemen out in front, running away from that Millard South defense. They brought number 50 there, Zach Dickey there as the pulling guard. We'll see if they keep doing that with the pulling guard. They got in a rhythm where they did that every play a little bit earlier. Yeah, there it is again with Dickey. Same thing. Bauman behind the pulling guard again.
That's his 10th carry on the night. He picks up 5.
Brandon, you know that I very often reference my video game strategy, and if I find a play that works on a video game, much like John Gingery on the actual field, I will wear it out. I don't care.
How many Madden tournaments have you won with this strategy? There has to be a lot.
I don't have any trophies there as East gets a little bit of a gain there. I haven't won any trophies for tournaments, but I have beat my Gen Z son multiple times, who's now 18 years old. That feels good as a middle-aged man.
Hey, that's worth a trophy in its own right. That was a completion to Lingenfelter, and it looks like the Spartans with Bauman will pick up another first down.
Moving quick, Bauman right up the middle now. Just something we just hadn't seen be successful. Yeah, I think I'm the first generation of dads who can occasionally at least beat their sons at video games. And I mean, I could take him, I could fire up Tecmo Super Bowl with him and just house him if I wanted to. I don't do that. I'm playing his generation of games.
Very kind of you.
I mean, I could beat him by 120 on double dribble if I wanted to, but nobody's playing that anymore.
Hockey, Blades of Steel guy?
Blades of Steel. I'm more of an NHL 94 guy on the Sega Genesis.
That's fair enough. That was a 7-yard pickup.
Wow.
For Lasig. And big gain there with the running.
What is going on here?
Bauman again, lower in the shoulder.
How many times did we see East try and go up the middle? For goodness sake, Brandon, they avoided going up the middle, 4th down and 1 from the 1-yard line because they couldn't run it up the middle. And now all of a sudden, they're having success. They're going to keep doing it.
About 3 more.
It looks complete where the Millard South defensive line had basically shut out that sector of the field for Lincoln East, and now they're going back to it and back to it and back to it. And they're kind of getting those plays in a little bit faster, too. They're trying to use some speed here. They'll go outside here.
Screen to Burhoop.
Nice.
Not much there.
Nice job by Millard South. Absolutely swarming. They had four guys who had a chance to make that tackle. I think you probably need to get Dash Bauman a little rest there after he's got a lot of carries in a row. Big play now, 3rd and 7. Be a long field goal if they didn't get it here.
Worthley Throwing across his body. He has his receiver.
Oh, what a catch!
And it's caught. A 30-yard strike. Worthley hitting Lingenfelter, and the Spartans are on top.
What a throw, what a catch. Was not the primary receiver on that route. Worthley puts it up. He's got to follow that thing and catch it, not necessarily even over the shoulder. It was more over the head there. And Lingenfelter also already has a key interception, has had the sure hands tonight. And Lincoln East takes the lead over number 2.
An impressive drive here by the Spartans as the kick splits the uprights. We have ourselves a ball game in Lincoln. Spartans 14, Millard South 10. You're watching Thursday Night Football on News Channel Nebraska.
What does farming mean to you? For most, it's hard work, dedication, and livelihood. Unfortunately, that also comes with risk. At Nebraska Crop Insurance in Beatrice, they know the non-stop dedication involved to keep your family protected from that risk and ensure their livelihood. Not only do they know everything about the coverage you need, they're also farmers themselves. So protect what means the most to you with the agent who knows what it means to be a farmer. Nebraska Crop Insurance, 615 Dorsey Street in Beatrice.
Welcome back here to Seacrest Field. Big return for Millard South. That's DeLune Jones. Story right now, though, what a play. Worthley, 30-yard strike to Lingenfelter. The Spartans have upsets on their mind here at Seacrest.
And that time Millard South was able to get their return. They've had some big special teams returns. They've been pulled back twice now by penalty flags. Didn't have one there, and so didn't quite get into East territory there, but starting on their own 40. We'll see what Tomla is able to do here. 3 and out last time is the quickest we've seen Millard South get off the field.
Prussia gets the handoff, and that's the biggest carry for the sophomore tonight across midfield, 20+.
And every time we've heard from Millard South, they've said, hey, we got to get that running game going. We've got to get that running game going. That's the bestest look tonight.
Quickly to the line, right back to Prussia. He picks up 7 more.
So it appears both of these teams have decided, hey, maybe we need to pound it with the running game, and a little bit deeper in the game we'll have more success with it, because it looks like Millard South is now doing exactly what Lincoln East did to them on the last possession. And again,
have a flag that came in. It would be a first down if this play stands.
Assume a holding back here. I don't think there's any kind of a face mask on that tackle. We'll see though.
And it's coming back.
Yep, holding. Boy, I don't know what the penalty numbers are, but we've got to be getting close to double digits, at least on Millard South so far tonight. Just been a lot, and just a lot of gut punch ones too.
After this most recent penalty, 2nd down and 11. 5.5 remaining in the third quarter. Tomala's pass is batted down by Peterson.
I'll tell you what, my MVP for Lincoln East tonight so far has been Noah Peterson. He has really, really disrupted this Millard South offense by himself tonight. And not to say it hasn't been a team effort, but boy, he's just really made life difficult a couple of times for Tamala, and he hasn't been able to just get in that rhythm that he has over and over again so far this year, and it's a big part because of number 70.
And this has
a lot
big
of
play
room. A lot of room.
written all over it. Isaac Jensen picks up the first down. Nobody was home. 15-yard pickup for Jensen and a Millard South first down.
It was kind of similar. It was I don't know. It might have been the same play as the one Millard South scored the touchdown on during the first half, where they looked like they were going right, bringing offensive linemen out, and with the screen the other direction, looked very similar to that one. And another big run for Millard South.
14 more for Prussia.
Yeah, Prussia and Dash Bauman just look like they've got a whole lot more area to run and just a lot more effective here in the second half as we see him again.
Nearly hurdling a defender. There's 8 more yards. Millard South is now marching right down the field. Second and 3 from the 6. Right back to Prussia. This time
pushing.
He's stood up. He still kept his legs churning. Brought down near the 2.
He got 4 yards on that play. Prussia running hard in this second half. Oh, we got an injury for East. Or a guy without a shoe on.
Looks like that's Zach Dickey who lost the shoe. So he's getting that sorted out. First and goal to go from the 2.
Boy, I'd be surprised if they do anything other than give it to Prussia here. No need to get too fancy with this whole thing.
They do just that. Prussia is hit and stood up. Is that Chedek, I believe, who hit him behind the line to slow his progress?
Chedek got the first contact kind of from the perimeter there, and he stood tough there.
No gains. Second and goal to go from the 2. Here's another look.
Chedek had first contact there. Good push by East. They haven't been able to do that against the running game here so far. Are they going to be patient enough to keep feeding it to Prussia here? I think I would. Little option, speed option.
Prussia is tackled short at the 1.
It's a good tackle there by Troy Peltz. It was close. I assume we're in 2-down territory here on the 1-yard line. They're going about as tight as Millard South goes here.
And you have
sneak
backup quarterback Langer in. And
he didn't get
Langer
it.
is short. Fourth and goal to go from the 1.
Boy. And that looks like Langer's helmet came off, so he's got to go out of the game now. And so they'll have to, well, this is interesting. Boy, you brought Langer and you kind of played your hand there a little bit. East was ready for that. I don't know. I think I'm letting 36 have another crack at it here.
So it's less than a yard.
Prussia, by the way, also a sophomore. Goodness sakes.
He's the lone back. Tamala under center. There's the pitch to Prussia. And he's in there.
Oh.
Millard South on fourth down answers and retakes the lead.
It looks like on the outside, was I seeing Zimmerman back in there that got a little pressure there on the outside? He turned it up though, and boy, this Millard South team that has been so prolific with the pass throughout the course of this season, and the way that they've had so much success with the big wins against the likes of Gretna, Millard West, Elkhorn South, they go to the full-on running attack here in the third quarter, which, we've had signaled to us every time we've heard from their coaching staff. They've said, hey, got to get the run going, got to get the run going. Well, they got the run going on that drive.
Number 2, Millard South back on top, 17-14. Late in the third quarter. We'll be back. You're watching high school football on News Channel Nebraska.
A partner in your everyday since 1975. Woodhouse.
.224 remaining here in the third quarter. We'd like to remind you that Lincoln High School Sports on News Channel Nebraska is proudly presented by Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose. Find out more at libertyfirstcu.com. Top 10 matchup here in the capital city. And the Metro team in Millard South has retaken the lead. 17-14 your score.
Millard South has done those kind of sideline squibs for, I think, all of their kickoffs so far tonight. Kind of saying, hey, yeah, starting at about the 30, we'll let you do that. And maybe something East wants to do, because they've given up some big returns tonight too.
It was a heavy dose of Dash Bauman, capped off by great individual effort by Wordley and Lingenfelter to cap off the Spartans' last drive. We'll see if they continue to feed the Wyoming commit.
Second time tonight.
And that is Aiden Miller, the culprit again.
Oh, boy.
5 yards for Lincoln East, 1st and 5.
I don't know. I feel like at some point I'd flinch or something or react, but let's go ahead, take it, sell it a little bit. He's done it twice tonight. It's impressive.
There's 2 yards there for Bauman. Or that might have been Peltz, actually.
Yeah, they gave it, giving it to Peltz that time.
His first carry of the night.
They'll work him in a little bit. Last week they worked Zimmerman in a little bit, and not sure what his status is. He was banged up a little bit earlier.
Again, Peltz, a Husker baseball commit. Now he's in the backfield alongside Bauman. Wordley rolling and just unable to get it to Burhoop there.
Boy, that was, I think he realized he was going to have to make a real, you're going to have to basically give him a shot at making a diving catch to make that catch, because he was well enough covered, and almost just kind of threw it away there.
Still 3rd and short. 17-14 your score on the Aurora Cooperative scoreboard. Helping you add value to every aspect of your operation. Aurora Cooperative.
Oh.
And too far out in front there for Lasig.
Boy, they've had a couple of those outs tonight and either haven't had a that was a tough one to catch, but had a couple that they probably should have caught. Had a couple of throws that that Jeter wishes he could have had back and maybe put on a little bit more of a rope there. And East is going to give up some pretty decent field position, and they'll punt to Millard South and try not to give up a big return here. Uh-oh. There, he's in trouble.
It's turns into a fake. I don't know if that was intended or not.
I don't think it was.
But it's a first down completion to Dominic Velasquez. Colin Nehe with the pass.
I don't know for sure, but maybe it was. He was out on a route there. I think it was, but it could have been a lot cleaner than that. It almost looked like he improvised there, the punter, and if he did, that was wildly impressive. Either way, keep the composure because Millard South has been close on all of those tonight.
A huge play.
Unbelievable.
The drive continues here for the Spartans as we are now at the minute mark in the third quarter. Worthley, he has room to run.
Oh, that'll be 15.
And Dylan Cool will be called for the penalty. And as you mentioned, 15 more yards tacked on to the end of this run.
It wasn't particularly brutal, but he was well out of bounds. And, yeah, it's... I get that that's a penalty. That's got to be so hard coming up on the line, and you're not totally aware of where you are, and you're aggressive at that point. It's tough. It's tough. I don't know. I can't decide if that was a called fake or not. I think it looked like he was out on a route, so I think it was a fake, but I also can't imagine. I can't believe they wanted to take that gamble there because you don't get that. Man.
Well, depending on how things shake out tonight, we may have the chance to ask Coach Gingery specifically that as Burhoop is ushered out.
Uh-oh. Got an injury there. Looked like Finney, the pulling guard. He's a little gimpy. He's going back out there. But I think Dash Bauman's just naturally, when they walk out to their car tonight after the game, going to put his hand up on Cooper Finney's shoulder and have him lead him to his car. Because they've done that all night with him. And do it again here. There it is. East wants another 15-yarder. They're not going to get it there.
I think that's probably the right call. Bauman does get 2.
Boy, and Finney is really limping there. And the way that they use him, I mean, I joked earlier about the amount of steps that he was getting, but if he's not mobile, that really handicaps their ability to do what they've been doing that's been really effective. And again, kind of just moving. East has kind of said, let's move the line of scrimmage onto the outside of the hash marks tonight in various ways. It's been really successful. I wonder if they'll maybe not move him this play, maybe do a little pass pro and throw the ball here. It is 3rd and 3.
Bauman on the sidelines. You have Peltz in the backfield.
Here comes the blitz. He saw it again. Yeah, I bet he's going to go deep. Yep.
Shooting for Lasig and just over his fingers. And as you mentioned, there is laundry on the field.
Same thing where Lasig and he kind of have their hands tangled up. And it looked like Lasig was impeded that time, but we'll take a look at the replay here. It
was Javante Walker on the coverage.
Couldn't see much there, but not completely dissimilar to the other one where East wanted a penalty and they didn't get it. But you could kind of tell that Lasig was a bit impaired, and Jeter Worthley saw that pressure coming, and he knew he had man coverage. He found his guy who's been his best receiver this year and said, hey, I'll put it up for Owen Lasig there. Lasig got the call, 1st and 10 for East, 35 seconds left in the third quarter.
Delayed handoff to Bauman.
Oh, man.
And that is about
8
white jerseys on him. Ball popped out after the play, but that
was a swarming defense there.
Laquana started it in 1, 2, 3. There's about 7 or 8 red hats.
Forward progress had been stopped, so it wasn't a fumble there. East sideline is mad because he was brought down after it. Everybody kind of had their momentum really going there. I mean, again, I don't know. I'm pretty. I like them to keep the flags in their pockets sometimes, maybe a little bit more than everyone else does, and they did right there. But here we are, fourth quarter, Brandon. We got a great game.
17-14. Don't go anywhere. Spartans and Patriots battling at Seacrest. You're watching Thursday Night Football on News Channel Nebraska.
At Nebraska Orthopedic Center, they provide comprehensive orthopedic health care. Their physicians are highly skilled in all areas of orthopedic and sports medicine, including spine surgery, foot and ankle, hand and upper extremities, fracture care, and total joint replacement. Their expertise includes the medical management of injuries through physical and rehabilitative methods or surgical intervention. To schedule an appointment or to learn more about Nebraska Orthopedic Center and their family of 25 physicians, go online to nebraskaortho.com. That's nebraskaortho.com. Nebraska Orthopedic Center is your healing destination.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
Starting the fourth quarter, Lincoln East on the Millard South 15, 2nd and 10. And Wordley fakes the swing pass. He's in trouble and just has to throw that one away. You had J.R. Laquana trying to track him down. Now there's a flag on the far side of the field away from where Wordley threw the ball. And in that sort of secondary area. The Spartans, though, are walking back. It appears to be against Lincoln East. Looking on the replay here, it's way back by the 10-yard line where a couple of players got tangled up. Not quite sure. We'll wait for the call. So an eligible man downfield. The Patriots decline it. Makes it 3rd and 10.
All right. Big play for East, down 3. Almost have to go to the air here, don't you?
Wordley in the gun. Bauman next to him. Pressure coming from the outside. Cool showing it. Wordley runs around and he zips it in there.
Lingenfelter again.
Touchdown Spartans. Wordley to Lingenfelter for the 2nd time, and East is back on top.
Boy, Wordley, what a play there by Jeter Wordley. Full speed on the outside. I mean, he's got to bring the speed getting out there because he knows he's going to have the pressure coming from Millard South. And Lingenfelter already had one amazing touchdown catch. There's a second one tonight for the sophomore. Wow.
21-17, Lincoln East. Here at Seacrest Field, don't go anywhere. You're watching high school football on News Channel Nebraska.
At Zollner Ford, come and see our great selection of new Ford vehicles. Whether you're looking to buy new or you need a car serviced, it's our pleasure to assist you. Our online website makes shopping even easier. Browse our massive inventory of vehicles or schedule your next maintenance appointment. We even offer drop-off and pickup services. Stop by today or visit us online at zollnerofbeatrice.com.
Well, we're early into this fourth quarter, and the Spartans striking right away. Lingenfelter, second touchdown reception from Wordley. Just 2 catches, 2 touchdowns, Jack, for Lingenfelter here tonight.
That's it. Yeah, that's called efficiency is what that is.
The first one from 30 yards, the second from 15, and the Spartans back on top.
All right, what kind of an answer here does Millard South have? And, boy, East gets the benefit there of a touchback, which seems like a small thing, but Millard South has been kind of the East kickoff team has been flirting with disaster the entire night, saved a couple of times by a holding call. And Millard South has gotten themselves seemingly in pretty good field position to start almost every drive here for the whole night. Now they're going to start back at the 20.
This has been a back-and-forth affair from the get-go. Millard South struck first, 7-0 in the first quarter. Tamala hit Dylan Cole. Then it was 7-7 as we have a completion to Jones, and he's taken down hard. But East tied it up when Wordley ran it in from 1 yard out midway through the second. It was a 10-7 game when Nathan Thompson kicked a field goal to end the half, giving Millard South the lead. Coming out in the third quarter, Wordley, 30-yard touchdown to Lingenfelter, making it 14-10. Then Prussia punched in a 1-yarder to make it 17-10 Millard South. And then, as we just saw, Wordley and Lingenfelter connecting for the second time, making it 21-17. And here's Prussia on cue.
Will be interesting to see how Millard South, if they keep pounding that run up the middle one, was so effective for them on that last drive. And you mentioned it earlier, and I don't know if there have been catches since, but Amarian Jackson, just a quiet night. Does he still have just the one catch, or does he have another one since then? It's been a quiet night for someone who's really put up some big numbers this year.
Just the one for Jackson as Prussia gets it. I'd like to remind you this fourth quarter is brought to you thanks to Visit Lincoln. See and experience all that Lincoln has to discover and at Lincoln.org.
I mean, numbers-wise, you're talking about statistically one of the best passers, one of the best receivers in Class A. I mean, the passing-wise in the entire state right now. And here's Millard South kind of saying, hey, I think our best bet might be to go up the middle at this point, which is surprising, to say the least, as they go to the air as soon as I say that. Ooh.
To Jackson.
Close. Boy, just as I said it, he's been so quiet. This guy has, 8-9 touchdowns this year. It's been a huge weapon for them. Big numbers all season long.
8 touchdowns, just shy of 500 yards receiving entering tonight.
Another ineligible call. Boy. So they're going to mark that off.
So second down and 11.
So, interesting. I mean, East had a bit of a decision there. You could have had 3rd and 6. They went with 2nd and 11. East bringing pressure from the defense. Oh, set up. Screen is set up nicely here. Yeah, this is going to work.
Prussia in the open field. A lot of room to work with. Prussia across the 20, still going. The 10, finally brought down at the 8-yard line.
Oh, late flag. Way downfield, but a late flag.
Monster gain for the Patriots, should it stand.
Right by where an East player is down. I don't know if we can see it here. Burhoop number 2 in the background is a player that was down to the play. So I think there's a block in the back there on Burhoop is what they're going to call. Still going to be a big gain. But we talk about those penalties. Boy, and Millard South has been the best tonight when they've got, yeah, there it is. Now, it's not going to bring Millard South back to the their own side of the field here, it's going to be a spot foul. So they're still going to be well into East territory. But what I was going to say there, when Millard South has got their blockers out again on the outside through these screen passes and misdirection, that's by far the best their offense has been the entire night. And you saw it there again, and you can see it. East is just emptied out on one side, and there's a convoy for Perugia to go down the sideline. You can see it immediately. Head full of steam.
Back to Perugia this time on the ground. They'll give him 5. That's his 20th carry tonight.
20 carries tonight? Wow.
Largest carry was for 20. A lot of them have just been those hard yards.
Yeah.
But he's averaging about 4 or 5 a tote.
One of the best passing teams in the state, and they got a running back with 20 carries, who's been solid, by the way. I mean, like you said, it's not been as they go deep. Inches.
Going up top for Jensen and just missing.
I think Jensen might have misjudged that a little bit. That was like the touchdown we saw with Lingenfelter before, where it's coming basically right over the top of your head in that situation. Difficult to judge. Here we go, 3rd down. This has got to be 4-down territory, I would assume here. So even they might go up the middle and get a couple of yards and say, hey, this is clearly 4-down territory. Nope, going to pass it. Wide open.
And this time he hits Jensen, who jukes and takes it in there for the score. 28 yards. Jensen wide open, and he finds pay dirt.
It looked like you had 2 East members of their secondary who ended up on one guy, leaving no one on Jensen, as you can kind of see in the replay there. It was Peltz in the linebacker position and Ford. So this is a significant extra point here. It's a 2-point lead.
So the Patriots continuing to answer. Every time the Spartans go up, they come right back.
All right.
A field goal separates the two. Millard South 24, Lincoln East 21. Stay with us here on News Channel Nebraska. 8:48 remaining.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Currency. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. By Central Nebraska Orthopedics, dedicated to the motion of life. And by Region 4 Behavioral Health, quality mental health and substance abuse services.
Less than 9 to go here at Seacrest and Lincoln, and we have had a great one between these two top 10 opponents. The Spartans of Lincoln East trying to hand Millard South its first loss of the season, and every time East takes the lead, the Patriots come right back.
A little pooch kickoff again. I think they're looking for a fumble on that play. They act like they got it, but the officials are saying East ball. I mean, I think that's the other idea with that is you've got players ended up fielding the kick who are not used to carrying the ball or catching the ball, and it's kind of a cross between an onside kick and a deep kick there to some degree. By the way, there was someone in the studio who said 17 points probably wins this game. I don't know who that was, and there's no need to go back and listen to the tape
of course
by any
not.
means, but wanted to point out that probably will end up being wrong. Well, it will for sure end up being wrong.
I think most experts Would have thought Millard South would be leading by more at this point in the contest. Lincoln East, a good team, but you sort of have that bias that the Metro is stronger. And again, we've talked about the teams that Millard South have beaten and how they've beat them coming into tonight. Millard West was a 1-point victory, who's 4-1. Elkhorn South, 33-0, who's a top 10 team, and Gretna 38-7. They have won very impressively.
And I think it's, Millard South has established themselves as probably the second best team, a top 2 team in the Metro, and Lincoln has not been able to crack for a lot of years now, as Worthley's going to be in trouble here. Oh, and taken down hard. Man, that defensive line for Millard South is something. And Worthley looks like he's hurt. He went down hard. He looks like he is.
Aiden Miller with the tackle.
See if we can see what happened here, but he is in some real pain right now. Went down on his side and his shoulder.
So we'll take a break here. 3:13 to go, or 3rd and 13 rather, with 8:22 to go. You're watching high school football on News Channel Nebraska. So this yellow jacket, it basically symbolizes that it's showtime.
The Yellow Jackets are a throwback to Monday Night Football.
The 1970s, Keith Jackson, Howard Cosell.
That was the big broadcast in the country. Now we're the big broadcast in Nebraska.
When News Channel Nebraska is covering a game, we want you to know that we take it seriously. We want to dress sharp. We have pride in what we do.
And we're going to wear those yellow jackets to show people, we're a little old school, but we're also the important broadcast of the night.
Wide receiver.
Welcome back. So Worthley was able to hop up, but he's on the sideline currently. 3rd and 13. And it's Lasig, the receiver at quarterback. He chucks it up to Burhoop, and a great defensive play by Walker. That was on the money.
Are you kidding me? Lasig was playing wide receiver last play, doesn't warm up, doesn't do anything, and they send Burhoop on a fly route, and he put it almost exactly where it needed. Maybe could have put a little bit more under that because it looked like Burhoop had a step. Wow, it was 3rd and 13, but Lasig, who had played quarterback earlier in his career, he had been played quarterback, and Jeter Worthley kind of took that over. They moved Lasig out to wide receiver, and that's where he's been since then. Boy, that was a heck of a play, and now you wonder if Jeter Worthley is going to be able to get back in here, because obviously that changes the game significantly. We've seen both quarterbacks now, starting quarterbacks, out of this game.
Just under 8 minutes to play.
For what it's worth, Jeter's standing with his helmet on still right at the front of the sideline next to the coaches. Sort of looks like he's itching to go back in. We'll see if that happens, but East defense has to step up right now if they want to stay in this thing. And they do exactly that.
So that was big Emmett Carr, who was through there first. A rare loss on the play for Prussia. For Prussia, excuse me.
Emmett Carr in that play, and boy, and again, number 70 there, Noah Peterson there to clean it up. Anything else right in that backfield of Millard South, where he has been much of the night.
And
Millard South has started to make this connection now with Jensen, and watch that matchup over there. Jensen against McHale Ford.
Tomala with plenty of time, and he has his receiver.
Or that one.
And it's going to be a touchdown for Jackson. He's been held in check all night until now. 61 yards. And the Patriots are up by 2 possessions.
We were waiting for it, and there it was. It just seemed impossible that he was going to stay this quiet, this long. Got himself open. and just turn on the jets at the end. Burhoop couldn't catch up with him. And Millard South now about to take what looks like a 10-point lead with 7 minutes left. Boy, Millard South has just switched all night from the short rhythmic pass to the running up the middle to the screen passes and now to the deep passes. You've seen everything from them, and they've got the deep pass working right now. Delay here, maybe.
So this will take it 5 yards back. But yeah, Amari Jackson, 9 touchdowns on the season after that one. 61 yards, and this is to make it a 10-point affair.
It's good.
Millard South, 31, Lincoln East, 21. Here in Lincoln, stay with us. You're watching Thursday Night Football on NCN.
Anything for the floor, O Street Carpet has it and more. From little feet to little paws, to updates and overhauls. From soft and cozy to durable and resilient. From something that blends in or something that's different. From DIY to custom install, O Street Carpet can help you with it all. Whatever your needs are for the floor, O Street Carpet has it and more.
.7:05 to go here at Seacrest, Lincoln East. Trailing by 2 possessions. The first time this has been a 2-possession game all night. Now, if you're the Spartans, the positive is there's still time. We're wondering, and we'll see shortly, if Wordley will come back out onto the field. But you're going to have to be airing it out now.
See if Millard South goes with that short kickoff again. Yeah, they will. And you've got to catch this thing, hold on to the ball, and that's what they'll do.
Reminder to stay tuned for our Sarpy County Tourism Coaches post-game interview. Stay, play, and plan your getaway at GoSarpy.com. We'll be talking to either Coach Wisdom or Coach Gingery.
Well, Worthley's out there. It looks like he might be lumbering a little bit. Like you had said, maybe it was a wind knocked out of him situation. It's hard to tell. He does look like he's kind of lumbering a little bit. He was holding his side and his head kind of at the same time after that. We'll see how he looks here. But East has got to move. They don't have a lot of time here to get a couple of scores.
And Bauman nowhere to go. He was hit from behind by Miller.
Boy.
Defense is just getting stronger as the game wears on.
I mean, just the hitting and the swarming here by this Millard South defense it's been really impressive. And meanwhile, East has managed still to put 21 points up on them. But, oh my goodness. When they gang tackle you, they do it violently. Legally, but violently.
Loss of 1 on the play. We're under 6.5 to go. Wordley with time, and he zips it in there to Lasig. Brings up 3rd and 5.
6:11 left. 3 timeouts left for East. Down 10. And what, 3rd and about 4 here it looks like. Once again, I think probably has to be 4-down territory for East. I can't imagine you're going to punt this thing with 2 possessions. So, again, maybe a situation where you don't even necessarily need to get all of it. Maybe you try and run up the middle again where you had some success recently.
Worthley going for it all. A few yards ahead of Lasig.
Boy. So they went for the deep shot first on 3rd. Look like they're bringing the punting team in.
Yeah, you're running out of time. It's tough to stop this offense, but
Millard South got to be ready for that fake this time, or whatever that is. But Millard South has been bringing pressure too, so and not quite as much this time. Fumble.
Oh. And it was muffed, and Jackson
and he's gone.
Picks it
He is
up.
gone.
In
Punter's going to
stride.
get. Oh!
And that's going to be a touchdown for Millard South. And we've got some extracurriculars going on, but it's going to be a touchdown, and Jackson with the house call.
Boy, yeah, I got caught looking at what was happening behind the play there.
And it was Dylan Cool who got tied up with the punter, and
well, he absolutely
upset.
laid out the punter on a block, got tangled up, and then it appeared Cool threw his own helmet off and was very hot about that. I'm not sure what exactly happened. He obviously was the big man between himself and the punter in that battle. It was, I know I should have been watching the touchdown, but there was drama unfolding behind it. It was hard not to keep my eye on it. Boy, and one of those deals where the fumble at the beginning of the punt return just gets the defense kind of out of their lanes enough. And again, we've been able to see Jackson. Wow, impressive punt return.
And so when it's all said and done, things have quickly changed here. 38-21, so a 17-point lead for the Patriots. We'll take a break. Millard South taking control here late.
Personal foul on Millard South.
That is literally the funniest thing ever.
And then I said,
It wasn't, but this guy could use a win. Even if it's not as big of a win as I get with free Kasasa Cash checking. Kasasa Cash pays me a really high rate and refunds ATM withdrawal fees nationwide. So I feel like a queen. Has a mega bank ever made you feel that way? Or is it more like this guy? Take back banking with Kasasa Cash.
Get Kasasa checking at Liberty First Credit Union.
Welcome back. 5:18 to play. Millard South now in control, having scored 3 touchdowns in just a little over 3 minutes of game time.
Man, this game turned on a dime. Absolutely turned on a dime. And 17 points all of a sudden. And East finds themselves. I'm still a little surprised, to be honest, that East even punted it there at all at that point, because you were already in a 2-possession game. Two possessions scoring there with 5 minutes left in the game, 5 and change at that point was going to be an uphill battle. It wasn't, we weren't talking 4th and 20 there. It was, 4th and 4, 4th and 6, I believe. And now Millard South will kick it deep.
Return here from Langenfelter. Langenfelter has the 2 touchdowns. There's another big hit. There are just pads popping here tonight.
Kind of wish we had some more left in this game. Let's play another couple of quarters. Juices are flowing now. Well, 5:08. I suppose if East can pop one in quickly here. Got all 3 of the timeouts left. Got an onside kick potentially at your disposal.
Whatever you do, you have to do it quick, and it certainly is 4-down territory now. Now down by 17 with 5:08 to go. And Worley's pass off the hands of the receiver.
And then right there at midfield, I see one of the Millard South defensive backs and Owen Lasik exchange a little hug there. So apparently it's not all bad blood.
That's good to see, because you can feel the tension up here in the press box. It's gone to another level of intensity right now from these two teams.
It really has.
Worley with time here.
And a pick. Oh,
and things have gone from
and look who it
bad
is.
to worse.
Look who it is.
It's Cool. His 4th interception, his 3rd pick 6. And there is a flag that I think is going to be against Cool, as he came across the touchdown.
Yeah, I don't know what he did, but I had a feeling something might be coming here. Oh, okay. Was that all it was? Come on. If that's all it was, I mean, if he kept it to that after everything else that had just happened, I mean, wow. Implosion here, unfortunately, though, for Lincoln East, when it looked like we were going to go to the wire with this game. Boy, just minutes, a complete implosion.
Yeah, it was 21-17. Lincoln East had just taken the lead at 11:48 to go in the 4th quarter. Millard South answers on the ensuing drive, so it's 24-21 at 8:48. And now it's 44-21. Less than 4 minutes after that touchdown that made it 24-21.
And I think this is, this sort of just cluster attack that you've seen from Millard South. I think this is what they did in those other games. I think it was just earlier in those games when it was just, getting turnovers, getting big special teams plays, one after the other, quickly, complimentary football all around and huge plays. And East held them off for, essentially almost 7/8 of the game. But get down to these last 6-7 minutes of this game, and everything on 3 sides of the ball, offense, defense, special teams, goes right in a big way for Millard South.
Well, and again, we kind of mentioned it. Credit to Lincoln East for hanging with them so long, but now I think we're starting to see, obviously, why Millard South has done what they've done to other great teams and why they are the number 2 team and how much talent they truly have. The Spartans had them corralled and contained for the better part of 3 quarters, but now they've just been let loose.
Yeah, and it was that getting that big pass to Amarian Jackson, and it was like that set the whole thing off. And that, I don't know if that's what was missing in the past, but you got him, then the kick return, then the pick, or the punt return, then of course the pick. And it was like Millard South smelled blood at that point and went all in.
Burhoop with the return here. Taken out near the 40.
Well, 4:43 remaining now, and both of these teams, these are both teams that we're going to see in the postseason here at this point. And I for Lincoln East, I know this will be I think they do have Gretna still left at the end of the year, but this is going to be the biggest challenge that they're probably going to see this year.
Well, coverage tonight is brought to you in part thanks to Zollner Ford Lincoln in Beatrice. 4:43 to go. Worthy to Bauman. The Patriots had that one snuffed out.
Yeah. When you see 0 there have a direct line to the quarterback and pass it up, you know that they've started to figure out the screen pass may be coming. Just dead in his tracks and turned around. Great job there by that Millard South defensive line. And again, Millard South has done this. They had that defensive line was just dominant in that first half. You didn't see that as much in the second half, just in terms of the lightning fast pressure from them. They've been solid all night, but they've kind of done it a little bit differently here on defense this half.
Worthily forced to throw that one away. So now under 4 to go. A reminder that this is just the start of our broadcast coverage for football this week on News Channel Nebraska. We have 2 more really good ones tomorrow, depending on where you live. All three of our games, Jack, this week are top 10 matchups. This one tonight, and then on Friday, if you live in the majority of the state, you'll see number 3 Kearney go on the road, take on number 9 Grand Island in a huge Tri-Cities rivalry match, so we're looking forward to that.
Yeah.
If you live in the northeast portion of the state, you'll also have a great game. Class C2, number 1 versus number 2 with Norfolk Catholic taking on Battle Creek.
Wow.
And so we're wall-to-wall top 10 matchups this week on NCN.
Yeah, really interested in seeing what happens in that Grand Island Kearney game. Of course, Kearney, a team that beat this Lincoln East team to start off the season, and they remain unbeaten along with Millard South and Omaha West Side. And it'll be interesting to see what they can do in that kind of a test. Eventually, they're going to get into play against these Metro teams, whether it be during the regular season or into the postseason. And Kearney could be a factor in here. I know right now it feels like there's kind of Omaha West Side is on a line above everyone else right now. But these and Millard South eventually takes on West Side, do they not, later in the year? That's
Week 8, October 13th.
Okay. That's going to be a big one.
So this is Langer with the carry. Imagine we'll see the Patriots keep it on the ground for the remainder of this one.
Yep. Langer who had a key role in this game, getting down there and helping Millard South get that field goal to take the lead at halftime. Not an insignificant moment in this game, momentum-wise. And it's just odd because everything has been so high intensity all night in this game, kind of just neck and neck, and to have a game switch from a nail-biter to a blowout within a matter of literal minutes in the fourth quarter of the game. It feels weird.
We're now under 3. And again, when people wake up, if they weren't tuned in or here at the game, they're going to see the score and, think it was a Metro just killing the Capital City team. But again, up until the fourth quarter, this was a back-and-forth affair. Teams were trading blows. There was 4 different lead changes. And then it was just
such a good game. Yeah, such a good game for 7/8 of it. There's going to be some sore players tonight, too. This game has been really physical, especially when that Millard South defense has been on the field tonight. East is going to make some substitutions now. So we've got some of the reserves getting a chance here now on both sides of the ball. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Lincoln East in the News Channel Nebraska poll. We talked about that at halftime as well. We pointed out that, hey, maybe even a tight loss in this could get them some gains in the poll. But again, this isn't going to look really any different than any of those other big Millard South wins. like Gretna, like Elkhorn South, especially when you look at the score at the end. But this one, I think, probably felt different for the vast, vast majority of the game than either of those two did.
Final moments of this one. We'll see one more snap here. But a great game between these two teams. Millard South turning it on in the fourth quarter to win comfortably. This will be the last snap from Langer.
East will get ready for Lincoln High next week, then Lincoln North Star, and then end up against Gretna in that one. So a couple of Lincoln teams that they frankly should be teams that they should beat, and then they got one more matchup with a metro area team in Gretna. That'll be a big one as well, especially for playoff seeding in this one after dropping this one. But Brandon, could be maybe an interesting playoff rematch at some point here that I would definitely keep my eye on once we get into late October and November.
Your final score, 45-21 here at Seacrest. Stay with us. Our postgame show is coming up next.
At Zollner Ford, come and see our great selection of new Ford vehicles. Whether you're looking to buy new or you need a car serviced, it's our pleasure to assist you. Our online website makes shopping even easier. Browse our massive inventory of vehicles or schedule your next maintenance appointment. We even offer drop-off and pickup services. Stop by today or visit us online at zollnerofbeatrice.com.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Fuel your journey by starting at a Speedy Mart store near you. From the small communities in Nebraska to the larger cities, the staff at Speedy Marts are ready to serve you with food, fuel, and rewards. Save 5 cents per gallon with the Fuel Your Journey fill-up plus additional bonus savings. Download the app for mobile pay, offering customers the highest quality branded food and treats, fresh, ready, and convenient. Check out SpeedyMart.com for locations and job opportunities.
Landmark Implement is your local authorized John Deere dealer. Landmark's trained and certified sales staff will help you find the right equipment for your needs, all backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network. Whether it's a tractor, planter, combine, lawn and garden tractor, or gator, every piece of equipment in our inventory is ready to work hard for your operation. Landmark's team works together to make sure everything that is sold meets their quality standards. Stop by your local Landmark Implement or learn more at landmarkimp.com to experience the Landmark difference.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Western Oil, your first and last stop to and from the game. By USafe Pharmacy, dedicated to the well-being of all our customers. And by Zollner Ford Lincoln, proud to be your local Ford and Lincoln dealer.
From the moment something didn't feel quite right, to that ambulance arriving at your door, from the immediate diagnosis, to the surgery that followed, to the long list of lifestyle changes, and that family gathering that everyone always talked about, but for whatever reason kept getting postponed, to the moment you sat back and realized how grateful you are for everything you have. We've been here for you, just around the corner. Columbus Community Hospital.
Life is a wild ride. It's important to have a trusted partner along the way. Liberty First Credit Union exists to provide its members with affordable financial services. Whether it is a large purchase, a new car or home remodel, overcoming obstacles, or chasing your dreams, financing life is what we do best. Give us a call or visit libertyfirstcu.com.
And welcome back. We're about to hear from Coach Wisdom and our player of the game. Before we do, let's go to our top plays presented by Currency. Top 10 matchup. Thursday night football in Lincoln, Nebraska. Number 8, Lincoln East, hosting undefeated at number 2, Millard South. And this is how we start things off. Millard South gets on the board first. Jet Tamala passing to his buddy Dylan Cool. That makes it 7-0 late in the first quarter. It was a defensive battle up to that point. Now we're in the second, and the Spartans answer right back. This is on 4th down and goal to go from the 1. Jeter Worthley calls his own number and punches it in. 7-7. Spartans tie it up at the 6:46 mark in the second quarter. This would send us into halftime. Time expiring. Nathan Thompson, 24-yard field goal. It's 10-7 Millard South. As the teams head to the locker room, there would be more fireworks to come in the second half. Lincoln East, midway through the third, they say, we're going to take the lead. Jeter Worthley throwing across his body, and what a catch from Landon Lingenfelter. 14-10. The Spartans are on top of number 2 Millard South. Not for long, though. There's the pitch, and Gabriel Prusha, 1-yard touchdown on 4th down, so the Patriots now back on top. Back and forth we go, 17-10 late in the third. Now we're early in the fourth. Worthley and Lingenfelter connect again. Spartans up 21-7. Unfortunately, though, for Lincoln East, things started going downhill after that. There is a pass from Tamala to Isaac Jensen, 28-yard score, makes it 24-21, and then the Patriots put up a bunch in a short amount of time. They get the ball back. Tamala, 61 yards to Amari Jackson. He takes it to the house, 31-21. Millard South on top. More touchdowns to come for the Patriots here in the fourth quarter. Jackson this time muffs the punt. That's okay, apparently, because he then takes it to the house, 70-plus yards. Jackson back-to-back scores in about a 90-second time frame. It's 38-21 Millard South. And Lincoln East trying to get back into it. Unfortunately for them, they cannot. And Cool, whenever he intercepts the ball, he finds the end zone. This is his 4th interception on the season, his 3rd pick six. That put the game to bed. 45-21 is your final. 24 unanswered scored by the Patriots in the 4th to improve to 6-0 on the season. East drops to 4-2. And with that, we are now on the field, and Kyle has Coach Ty Wisdom standing by.
All right, we're here with head coach of Millard South, Ty Wisdom. Congratulations on the win, Coach. I mean, 10 points in the first half, but you guys scored 35 in the second half. What were some of those changes that you made that worked in the second half?
Yeah, well, obviously, big plays from our special teams, and then, we just made a few adjustments on offense as far as they were changing up their coverages, doing a few different things in the first half that we made the adjustment on, and then obviously our run game took care of some things in the second half as well. But it was the first thing of adversity we'd went through since game one. We needed something like this, and we just talked about it at halftime, responding with that, and the kids did a good job with that.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys did a phenomenal job guarding the deep ball. You didn't let them go deep at all. You forced them to short passes and running game. I mean, talk to me a little bit about your safeties and your corners, just guarding down that deep ball and not letting them get those big plays.
Yeah, no, Javante had a great night, and so did DeLon. The corners, Javante and DeLon, they played great. Safeties, Naz and Gus were there playing as well. But, I thought our pass coverage was real well, was very good. I thought it was good all game, to be honest with you. He's a great quarterback. You let him loose, he's going to make some plays, and he did that in the first half.
Yeah, and now it's a big-time game. Emotions are high and tempers flared in the fourth quarter. But how did you kind of bring your team together and calm them down and just get them to prepare to finish the job?
Yeah, I mean, we got to do a little bit better job of controlling our emotions, but you know what, I didn't feel like we played with any emotion in the first half, so, and it kind of correlated to how we practiced all week, to be honest with you. So, we answered the bell in the second half, played with a lot of energy and enthusiasm. We just got to be able to corner our emotions a little bit better.
Well, emotion's a big part as well. I mean, emotion's a big time part of the game. Talk to me about how your players did a good job controlling their emotions and focusing on the emotions of the game.
Yeah, and we talk about that all the time, that, it's about doing it for the guy beside you. We can't worry about what that other person does across the way and stuff like that. So, I thought our guys did a good job in the second half playing for each other, and obviously it showed.
So Jet Tamala, he went down awkwardly on his shoulder at the end of the first half. Do you have any updates on him? He did have a great finish to the game. So talk to me a little bit about him.
Yeah, he's fine. He just had a little tweak. He's fine. He'll be good to go. So yeah, no big deal there. So he'll be fine. All
right, so we'll bring in Amari Jackson here. Great game, Amari. You had 76.
Yep.
Sorry, Marion. My apologies. 76 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 massive punt return touchdown. Talk to me a little bit about what was going through your mind on that punt return. I mean, first you kind of fumbled it, but then you picked it up and you found a hole and you went all the way.
Yeah, like you said, there was a lot of motion coming out to the second half. I bobbled it, but picked it up, got through, and I don't know. You just, one of Coach's biggest sayings when the bell rings, you got to pick it up and respond. And I feel like that's what we did, not only me, but just as a team. We all picked it up and capitalized with all the opportunities we had.
Yeah, speaking of kind of picking it up, it was kind of a slow first half, but you got going in the second half. Talk to me about how you were able to kind of open up the game.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we have to do as a team. We got to make changes. Everything was slow in the first half, but just go into halftime, make some changes, and see what we can get.
Yeah, and talk to me a little bit about how you were seeing the coverage, how you were able to get open, find that space.
Yeah, they were in a pretty different defense, but later in the game, Coach moved me backside one-on-one, so I feel like that's where I got the most one-on-one man coverage, so I just had to capitalize in that moment.
Talk to me as a member of this team, how you feel about the rest of your team, how you feel that they played offense, defense, and just picking up a big win.
Yeah, I feel great. We all love each other. We all play for each other. Like you said, Jet got a little banged up, but I feel like that's what's good about our team. One person goes down, we have the depth to have another player step in. Like Gabe, no one's out right now, but Gabe comes in, he does what he's supposed to do. So as long as we keep playing for each other, we'll be set.
All right, well, congratulations on the win. And thank you to Coach Wisdom and also Marion for coming on and doing this. We'll send it back up to you.
Thank you, Kyle. And again, appreciate the time from Coach Wisdom, talking to us about the big victory, and his team certainly found what they needed to in that second half. Our coach's post-game interview brought to you by Sarpy County Tourism. Stay plan your getaway at GoSarpy.com. And also, congratulations to Amari and Jackson, our Nebraska Orthopedic Center player of the game. Nebraska Orthopedic Center is your healing destination. Your final score here tonight, 45-21. The Patriots end up winning comfortably to improve to 6-0, while the Spartans of Lincoln East dropped to 4-2. And another reminder, more football on NCN Friday night. If you're in the south viewing area, the majority of Nebraska, and you have NCN, you'll be able to watch Tri-Cities rivalry in Class A. Number 3 and undefeated Kearney going on the road to take on number 9 Grand Island. We're looking forward to that. If you're in northeast Nebraska, you will get 1 versus 2 in Class C2. Norfolk Catholic, the top team in the state in C2, taking on number 2 Battle Creek. And another tip for you as well, if you have Allo, you can watch both the north and the south game on 2 separate channels as well. So, a lot of football coming your way. If you ever have any questions on what games NCN will be covering, you can go to newschannelnebraska.com to see our broadcast schedule, or follow us on Twitter at NCN Sports. Again, that's at NCN Sports. We tweet out our entire schedule every week, all the games we're covering, how you can watch the games, in addition to our rankings, interviews, highlights, sports stories, and more can be found at NCN Sports on Twitter. That will do it for us here in Lincoln tonight. We hope you enjoyed our coverage of Thursday Night Football. A special thanks to our terrific crew, as always, for Danny Alvarado in the truck alongside Tyler Lechner and Connor Luby. For Kyle Mathis and Jack Mitchell, I'm Brandon Axemit signing out here from Lincoln.